Morning team, how's it going? How is it going? Hope you all had a good weekend. Just getting into this now. Some nice setups taking shape this morning, so I think we might have a good week ahead. So as always, we're going to start on last week's moves. Let's just make sure you can hear me nice and clean. Yeah, it looks like you can. All right, good. All right, as always, let's actually start on a weekly here. All right, just to point out, the weekly is still in a bullish trend, right? Higher highs, higher lows consistently. And up here, we're starting to build out some form of range, right? You can see that high we put in 3 weeks ago. We're still opening up in the top side of the range so that we've got a chance for expansion up towards here. Failure underneath this will be a neckline break for that rotation back down. But so far, bullish in the weekly, all right? Important to understand that from a daily point of view. Last week, bounced off the lower bowl, bounced off the 50-day. Why is it tricky here? All right, we went over this last week. We expected Friday to have a reaction upside. All right, and we have this daily imbalance above with trap buyers. All right, if we think about this right now, trap buyers are where? They are up here. Trap sellers are where? They are, if it's going to let me draw it, down here currently. All right, so we're in between the trap buyers and sellers at the moment. Those are your extremes in the market. This has a chance, all right, has a chance of setting a lower high on a daily. If you think about this pullback, if we reject this supply, this can set a lower high on the daily. It will then look to trade back down towards these areas here. If we get a breakdown down here, that will set a lower low on the daily. That will be confirmation of trend lower. And then I expect to come for these 800s and maybe even deeper to come and back test some of these. All right, so that is possible setting up this week and next week, especially if seasonality plays out. However, all right, until that point, this is a higher low. This is your old high, new low, old high, new low. We expect to go higher. All right, so we don't really want to be buying up here. We want to buy holds for pushes up. When can we buy high? If we reclaim this. Okay, if we reclaim this, we'll be looking for that inverse head and shoulder for the drive higher. All right, so the two plays this morning are really looking for dips to come into here. TP1, if we hold sideways, great. If we collapse and come back down, that also offers us a short trade back inside the range. The other thing will be a drive down to fill the imbalance, some form of trap down here to go back up, or a complete failure and a let go. All right, so all these things are possible this morning, so we need to be aware of them. How can we see them more? On the hourly chart. So let's just move over to this hourly chart. Let me move my screen here so I can see you all a second. Bear with me, folks. Okay, let's get rid of this. This is the old weekly range. All right, this is your previous week's range. Is it extended out? It's not. Okay, so these are your old weekly levels. All right, previous week value area low, previous week value area high, point of control. Big volume node here, little volume node here, volume node here. We are trading into this thin imbalance right now. All right, trying to base on this volume node at 475. You can see it right here. All right, as long as we hold 475, this can potentially be a giant pullback, bull flag pullback to go higher to come and retest this supply. If we're going to take these longs today, once we get up here, we're doing what? We are locking in money. All right, anything above that is a bonus, but the main play, if we're being bullish, protecting this low volume node is this. All right, protecting this giant imbalance. If we get stuck, all right, maybe I'll do it on the hourly so it's a bit easier to see. If we cannot, all right, protect this low volume node and we start to reject up here and we trade like this, then there is a collapse possible back down to fill this giant imbalance. And if it wants to keep coming down, it absolutely can. All right. That is a possible trade setup. So those are the first two trades I'm looking at this morning. Either sort of this flag playing out, or maybe it's one of these. All right, for that slingshot back up to take out this high. That would be my preferred move. Or if we push and fail and get stuck under here, the collapse back down. So both of those possible for first trades this morning. Once we get beyond that, we can think about what next. So if we do a deeper pullback this morning, all right, and we get, say, this short back down here, from this point here, you want to be careful of that sort of V-shaped recovery to go back up. If we start letting go, if for some reason we get very weak down here, we're looking for that short back down to the 800s. Okay, if, very big if, it's not what I'm looking for right now. Same story up here. Once we get up here, we're looking for a failed breakout for a rotation back in. But if we reclaim this and start going sideways, what do we have here? We have lots of stops that we can aim for. So if we build liquidity up here, then we're going to complete one of these, like a double button down here, head and shoulder, right? Inverse head and shoulder to go up. Very clear. Those are the plays I'm looking for this morning. Nothing outside of that. The reason we've got to be careful when we go upside is because the daily can set that lower high up there. So I'm just slightly cautious, but really, you know, that move last week was pretty bullish into the close last week. So that's what I'm looking for this morning. Hopefully that makes it nice and clear. I'm going to the lower time frame so you can see it all. Okay, so we're holding right now. It's blue box, which is the edge of that imbalance. We have higher time frame algo below. We are in a bear trend, lower time frame, all right? M5, etc. is trading lower right now. Here's your rotation. Here is the snap, all right? But if we start reclaiming this, I'd be very, very careful thinking about too many heavy shorts trying to fill this imbalance. So it is possible. If you want to mark out the previous day and previous week value areas or volume, I'll just leave that up there for a second so you can have a look at it while we talk about the book. Now down below, until about 5-10 minutes ago, we had some big players down here. You can see down here on the book map as I zoom out. Right, 460, 455, 450, 445. They've now all moved and I think maybe added some volume, maybe a little bit into here. So what is that? Where are they trading at right now? Just above 450s. Right, 608 lot there. And there's another 100 lot up here. You can let me zoom in today, 470, and they're adding back on at 460. And look at that size that's just come in, another 900 lot. All right, so that's telling me they're looking for a sweep. So far this morning, they've built liquidity here. I think these bulls are looking for a sweep and a reclaim. All right, obviously, if they don't get the reclaim, we're going to play short. But I'm very aware of these big participants. Those are not algos, right? That is a genuine player down there. 470, 460, 452 or something. All right, 100 lot, 916 lot, 608 lot. That is not small size. That is massive size on the book. All right, so just be aware of that as we come into the play this morning. And let's have a look. Let's go through our ETFs. All right, ES, exactly the same story. I don't know why this is red. It's an old high, but same story. You can see low volume node here. Controlled selling down into it. No panic yet. This can be a bullish rotation. If they push and fail and collapse under here, then and only then are you looking to fill that whole imbalance. All right. Let's have a look at spiders. Same kind of story. All right. Coming into old liquidity here. There was the drift down. There's a huge bullish move up. Coming back in to here. All right. If they hold this, we go up. If they sort of push and fail this morning and we see genuine sell pressure come in, then we can think about that imbalance fill. So it will be the same story on the Qs, exactly the same. There you go. Did Qs get stuck? They have not really retested this area. This is what we're looking for, all right? If we're going to get long, all right, if bullish momentum comes in, we're just looking to trade into this first test of supply, not beyond that. Anything beyond that is a bonus, all right? That's all we're looking for because we have unfinished business up here for me. Doesn't have to do it. Like I said, it can push, fail, get stuck, bulls give up, we go for this, and then either recovers, or if we get heavy, we go back down towards those 800s we've been talking about. All right, let's have a look at the mag. Apple gapping down, coming back into its base. All right, so we saw this big flush down last week, started to trade sideways, expansive move off it. We know it's strong demand because of the reaction. It's coming back down into it. Any hold here of sort of 26 and 25s is probably for a bullish move back upside. Strength in Amazon. All right, so same kind of thing, but it's mild. This is more like the Qs, miles above these areas. All right, starting to see a rotation, but anything like this will be upside. Gapping down, but like a stronger chart from Friday. Goog gapping up, very strong. Very strong. Trying to base. over these old highs at the moment. All right, so there's Friday's push, pullback, hold. If we hold pre-market, this might have another attempt higher. Meta, same story. Meta is or has traded into that first supply level, so 756. Sorry, so it failed, coming back down. If it reclaims that, then it's going to go topside. So if Meta reclaims, let's call it 750, 750s, it has got a shot to come up to 68s and 70s. Microsoft, that looks much weaker. All right, it's the weakest one we've looked at so far. Gapping down. Previous day lows down here. Failing to hold upside of the range. That is weak. So far, it's the weakest one we've looked at. And the MAG. NVIDIA, strong. Very strong. All right, same kind of story here. Higher low, basing above W. If it keeps holding that, slingshot into supply. Remember, NVIDIA's got earnings this week, folks. That's one thing we need to go over. Scheduling this week. Tesla, again, strong. Gapping down last week. Rip up on Friday. If it can hold this, it's got a slingshot to try and get up to 50s, 350s. 350 break would be a big one. Let's have a look at the VIX. Gap up on the VIX. You can see Friday we got slammed back into these lows. I'm just going to zoom out here to 15 minutes. You can see the importance of these lows on the VIX, all right? Low teens. Gapping up over it. If we hold this, need to be careful, all right? But if the VIX just keeps doing this, and maybe another breakdown, I mean, it won't get much further down. It won't really get too much further down. It can drift lower, but we're in very bullish territory on the VIX right now. And you can see every push has just been sold. Every time the VIX is pushed hard up, sell back down. Little bounce, sell back down. It's starting to look like a small cap, isn't it? Fails. All right, it's going to have to do this for aggressive selling. We're not seeing that. Okay. Oh. How long we got? 3 minutes left here, folks. All right, let's just go through the news and the scheduling. Hopefully, most of you should have got my newsletter this week, which went over everything. So today, 10 o'clock home sales, 3:15. Logan's talking we'll be well out of the way by then. Where do I think injection of liquidity is coming this week? Probably Wednesday evening. Wednesday will be choppy and mental into the close with NVIDIA earnings at the close. Thursday, Friday is where we're going to get the injection probably. So we're looking for a weekly model to play out this week. Looks like a potential classic weekly model, ideally. Let's check in with the chat, see who's in here today. Look up, get my glasses on so I can see what's going on. Let's do that. That will help. All right. Morning, everyone. Morning, Coop, Clint, Jesse, Chris, Christopher, Thumper, Mo, Marek, Jeff, DJ Noah, Owen, Chris Trades, Sergio, Toby, Don, Hector, Tibor, Brandon, Mike, Peter, Silem, Myron, Firewater, Raphael, Bart, Mike Light, Eva, Ken, Leron, Coop, Christy, Willa Williams, Alan Bailey, Richard, Umalabi, and Bill Burke. Morning, everyone. Yes, still in my 30s. Let me have the next 5 days, will you please? I'm going to enjoy the next 5 days before I have a full-on midlife crisis. We look good here, folks. Most of you think we're going to chop inside Friday's range. Some of you think we'll break out of Friday's highs. Some of you thinking the lows. But most of you thinking choppy. Let's just see what we get. Haranda Khan, good day. Good day. And don't forget, folks, you've got, I think it's about 3 days left. I think it's till the 28th. Apex still on an 80% sale. All the links for my favorite brokers and my favorite prop firms are all underneath. You use code FZT for most of them. It will get you the best possible discount. Flow Zone will get you the best discount on Take Profit Trader. But Apex 80% sale, that's probably the best one out there at the moment if you're interested in scaling up to 20 accounts. Let me just make sure I've got all the right things going here. Let's get this to the queues. All right, here we go. Market open, folks. Just let it settle down for a second. Get through its imbalances. Market on open imbalances as we trade back up to the VWAP. Okay, remember, if pushes fail, maybe towards previous day value area low, then they'll try and do that rotation to clean up underneath. If we start reclaiming these levels, then I think we're looking for these old highs up here. In fact, I'm just going to put one of these in so I know where it is when I'm looking around. Okie dokie. All right, so pushing into VWAP, ES doing the same. Finding some sellers there for now. I'm going to let this settle down. Ideally, I'd love to sweep these lows and then look for a trade back upside. All right, that would be the most ideal circumstance. Whether it lets us do that or not is another thing. That would be most ideal. If we have a quick look at the mag, Tesla 0.15% up, Nvidia 0.01% down. It's trying to go red to green at the moment. Microsoft just about down. Meta over 1/3% up. Google 0.15% up. Amazon 1/3% down. Apple trading about 0.5% down. So mixed bag in the mag. Want to let this just calm down. Come into some of that old range. Let's maybe I can do. No, I can't. That's going to show me overnight. Let's just get one of these on. Here's the sweep. So this is a good start, folks. This is what we want to see. All right, so if we're going to hold this after sweeping, we're going to look for upside moves. Come here. Come on, TradingView, let me do it. So small. There we go. All right. All right, so a nice sweep this morning. Now we want to see if we're going to turn back inside. Remember, NQ swept, ES is not swept. If we're going to turn back inside, we're going to look for longs back up to the other side to take out Friday's highs. If we're going to stay heavy here in what is a big volume gap, right, make sure you understand Friday, big volume gap. If we're going to stay heavy here, we're going to fill the gap. But if we protect it, then we're looking for that sort of bear trap underneath and the upside moves. So those are the options right now, folks. We didn't fill all of these buyers. We filled one of them, 500 lot, but we didn't fill all of them down here. We are protecting it at the moment by the looks of it. Try and get all these working properly. Okay, there we go. So ES rejecting its VWAP so far. NQ at these lows. Waiting to see if we see a bullish reaction. If we don't see a bullish reaction, if we see a push and fail, I'm on a 5 minute to move this. Sort all my charts out. If we see pushes and fail, then there is possible for that gap fill. Remember, Friday was a straight squeeze up. I'm watching this book here, still nice and early. Mag all going red here. So will they fill this imbalance or do they protect it down here? That is the question right now. If they start protecting it, then there's a potential squeeze back upside. Coming down towards that higher time frame algo at the moment. Trading lower into those 50s. No buyers now on the table. All those big guys all sort of left. So now it's a question, do they squeeze or do they reject? All right, do they go for a big old squeeze back up, which is very possible, or do they reject to trade lower for the rest of the session? Starting to see that attempt to turn inside here. So attempt to turn back inside. This is the level where we just broke out from. This is where people are stuck. If we start reclaiming that, we're going squeeze. Here we go. Watching this reclaim of these levels. If we start reclaiming squeezing, I'm going to join long. Here we go. Lovely. All right. This is exactly what we talked about pre-market. So scalping some out here as we trade back upside. So this was the trap underneath that old volume. It is very possible now, if they start reclaiming New York, all right, that we can trade all the way up into here. All right, if we start reclaiming New York, this blue line, we can very possibly trade all the way up into here. So we'd be watching now reclaims of New York, pushes into previous day value area low, previous week value area high. This was the trap that we talked about this morning. We laid this out. We talked about it in Discord as well. All right, this is all laid out for you nice and early this morning. First thing we talked about in Discord, this kind of move here. This is what we're looking for at the moment to trade back to the upside of the range. Lovely. See how much juice we've got now. There's my daily target. Can we get back above the New York? So reclaiming New York view up. Can we get back above the open price here? Basically the 500s. Want to see us trade through 500s now and start putting on a squeeze. Want to see the mag starting to go red to green. They're all red at the moment. Want to see if they can go red to green, but already locking some in here as we started. Filling in, this is the first imbalance from the 930. All right, so locking some in here. Let's go. I love it when the chart's set up clean like this. So much easier to trade. Here we go. Looking for a squeeze through New York now. Come and retest VWAP and the high of day. And if we get through that, then we're basically looking for an hourly and a 30-minute breakout. If you think about the 30-minute and the hourly chart, that can be a big old bull flag. We're looking to see if we reclaim and squeeze through as a breakout. All right, just to make this clear, what I'm looking for was a trap underneath this low. That's why I said a sweep under here would be good. If we can reclaim this in base, we're looking for this move. So we're taking partials now, and if we base above here, we're looking for this move into here to come and take up that high, and then probably a rejection up there. Hopefully some of you have made a little bit of money here with me. Here we go. New York being tested now. Beautiful. Beautiful. Can we start seeing the mag going red to green? That would be really nice. Here we go. There's the 500s. We can get through here. We're going to go VWAP. Where's my VWAP? I'm going to go VWAP and take out New York session high and then try and squeeze through previous day value area low, previous week value area high, all the way up into here would be nice today, if possible. Beauty, beauty, beauty. Here we go, folks. Here's your New York Open. ES into its VWAP right now as well. Hopefully some of you locking in some money here. Can we keep squeezing? I think the answer should be yes. Lovely. Here we go, team. Here we go, team. There's my Globex gone. Trading back into these London lows. Can we reclaim these now? Make sure you're paying yourself a little bit on the way. Hopefully W's in chat here. This was all planned out pre-market. We might go on an absolute tear now. Here we go. So we're looking to trade through VWAP now, through the New York Hive, into previous day value area low. If we reclaim this, we're looking to come to previous day value area high, right? So if we reclaim 530s, we're looking to trade all the way up to 635. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Don't always get them this early in the session, and this is an absolute beauty. To move this up so you can see it, don't I? Sorry, team. Can I move this to the right? Is there a way of doing that? So if pullbacks hold here, we're still looking for upside if pullbacks can hold here. Mag, not all green yet. Only Google's gone green, and it is on a tear. Just seeing if the others can catch up now. But make sure you're locking some in here, into that London low, into where we broke out from. All right, so that breakout to the downside was basically 520s. If pullbacks start to hold here, we're going to look for this move. If pullbacks can hold, if they're going to stay heavy, I'm not touching it. If they come and reprice all of this, I'm not touching it because we can then slam back down. So taking partials out into here. If we hold this, we reload. If we reject and go for this, then I'm not touching it to the long side. Just going to get a tissue here. My nose is running this morning. Morning, Bella. Morning, morning, morning. All right, so now waiting to see if we get the next setup. Does this pullback hold? Do they absorb to trade higher? Mag still looks a bit heavy. 1 for 1 so far, taking those longs. Wait and see what sets up now. Nice and patient now. Let it chop around for a bit. Build the next leg that it's ready to do. I'm not against the shorts. If it rejects, stays heavy, it really, you would need to see that kind of move, right? I'd want to see it build liquidity down here. Otherwise, I'm long bias at the moment because we've swept. Right, because we've swept this. So that we understand why. We've swept these overnight lows. This is big imbalance from Friday. It's a low volume node. This is what we've done this morning. Sweep. So if we reclaim this, I'm looking for this. If we build liquidity under here, then I'm open to that move. Remaining flexible to the chart. Contorted big W there. Nice. Lovely work. Yes, looking good here. Pushing back into VWAP. If it starts reclaiming VWAP, SPY is already holding VWAP. If ES can reclaim VWAP, we can think about that gap fill. It's possible. Back to that New York Open then. ES into these 72s. We've got liquidity above here into 540s. You just need some of the mag to go green. I'm just going to check the book on ES for a second. Don't like these big buy orders down here on ES. Not what you want to see. Not what you want to see if we're looking for upside. Yeah, Bart, you got it. Nice, 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 nice. What's everyone's VWAP set to? There's two. So this is off the New York Open, and this is the 24-hour. So New York Open is basically where we are right now, 84s. 24-hour is sort of 510s. ES squeezing here. ES stronger, the stronger asset. Taking out high of day here on the New York session on ES. Can it actually hold a bid? So Spider's stronger today. It wants to get going here, the ES, you can see. It wants to get going. The only thing that scares me about it is when I looked at the book, all those buy orders so far below. Where were they again? 455, 460, 455, 450 is where the big buy orders are here on ES. It's a little bit scary. That's underneath low of day, but so far it's basing. Going to play passive for the rest of the day and only take a perfect trade. I'm up big and no need to risk it yet. That's exactly it, contorted. Once you make your money, you have to question if there's any reason to trade, like unless there's an A+ setup. I'm waiting now, right? We had that push from the failed breakdown. Remember, this was a failed breakdown, push back to here. We haven't based over to hold, so we're seeing a two-leg pullback now. I'm not going to just buy into this. I'd like to see this here if I'm going to buy. If we fail under here, there's a stronger move down possible because we've got that imbalance from Friday to fill. But really, I want to see them protect this low and drive higher today. But we've got to see the mag get going. Apple now gone green on the day. Google now green on the day. The rest lagging behind currently, right? The rest lagging behind. And we're trading inside your orb, right? The orb now set. We're just 50% of it. Here's your orb high, orb low, right in the middle. So far, a balanced day. So just patient now. Locked in that first winner. Now we just wait. Coming back down to that opening range low. ES protecting so far. It's nowhere near it. Relative strength in the ES. We have got this 1,000 lot. This is one thing. Look at this 1,000 lot now on the tape. 420s, 1,000 lot buyer on the tape. That's not an algo. That's a legit buyer. If we build down here, it's possible we go lower, but you've got divergence, which is not going to make it easy. All right, so either a fail break under this low like we had earlier, or protection of it. If we build under this low for a liquidation break, we can get nasty because the origin of that move from Friday is down to 280. So we've got some old highs. We're testing into the first old high here at 50s. If we fail that, we can test into 370s. If we fail that, we come to origin 270. So far, protection that you can see. They're trying to protect this for now. Do not get chopped up here, folks. All right, do not get chopped up here. You've had a nice winner this morning. Just be patient. We can buy into strength once it starts basing above the opening range, or we can sell into weakness once it starts breaking down underneath these key levels. What we don't want to do is get stuck. All right, we played the trap already. We haven't seen the trap hold since, right? The trap was underneath here. There was the trap. We played this up to here. We would have liked to have seen this move. It's not happened. So what happens? We obey the charts. We don't just keep longing this. We wait, right? Because if they build this and they do a flush, they can come right down into here and even down into these. I'd like to be bullish bias, but I can only buy when it sets up, right? So sticking to the rules. Like I said, the one thing that worries me is ES with the big lots down below. 460, 455, 450. Just feels like ES wants to come down into these. If you're looking at the book map above me right now, you'll see what I'm talking about. It feels like it wants to fill these. If ES wants to fill those, we'd probably come and fill 420. That is a massive order, and it's crazy. I hope you all had a good weekend. I hope you had a good weekend. You might have seen yesterday, I went to the gym yesterday. I did I don't know, probably about an hour workout. I did cycle and then back, a very heavy session on back and triceps. And then I was like, do you know what? I'm going to do the British Army test while I'm exhausted. So I did it and passed, posted everything on socials. Feel a bit sore for it now, I'm going to be honest. A little bit tired. I can feel the notable difference. But it felt good to do it, to see where whether I could still qualify for the British Army. Highly recommend doing it every couple months just to see where you're at. So it's a 2K run, 2-minute push-up, 2-minute sit-ups, and then a bleep test on chin-ups. It's good, really good. Okay, it's trying to reclaim these lows again. You can see the chop back and forth. Not filling those buyers underneath into the middle of the orb. How long we got? 10 minutes until the new 4-hour and hourly bar. Maybe we get a move once that's set. Apple now green, Google green. Tesla 1% down. That's the weakest one today. Still not touching this. Flow zones are currently flat on the session. We are currently midpoint of the orb. Leaving it alone. This is a leave alone zone for me at the moment. Squeezing back up to New York now. Whoa, that's a big old squeeze. Who's pushing off that? Nvidia starting to get a bid. Microsoft starting to get a bid. Meta starting to get a bid. They're all looking for bids. We're into that New York open. Remember, if we start basing above here, we're looking for a trade into previous day value area high. Sorry, value area low. And if we reclaim that value area high, that's a big old squeeze that. Back into VWAP here on the ES back into that New York Open. Decision time has to come soon. Has to come soon here. So nice and patient. Contorted, I did. My son started his first day at kindergarten. He's a big kid now. Oh, congratulations, man. Was that like a tough moment? Like, is it tough watching your kid go to kindergarten for the first time, or is it exciting? Got some hurricane surfing. Oh, JD. Big waves, was it? Bill Burke, sorry. The market may want to trade into Friday in balance gap. Yeah, I mean, that's what we kind of did today, right? But we're protecting that gap, right? So if we think about what we talked about in the newsletter, we go from here basically into 4 o'clock. I'm going to have to take the extension off. All right, here. See how we're protecting this gap? All right. So the gaps actually starts about here. This is including current range, but we're protecting everything under here. So all the time, it's protecting sort of 50s, 40s, and 50s, right? Then we can trap down here. Remember, shorts are looking for the fill, right? Shorts are looking for a fill down to here. But this is, for me, this is controlled selling. Right, this is very controlled selling. So if we do something like this, I think we go upside. If we build liquidity down here, then and only then do I think about a continuation play down, because it's not an optimum area to short down here. Yeah, exactly, Coop. 20-day and 5 days not too far below. I mean, it was close until the market opened. 5 day now at 568. So you've only got like what, a 2-point range there on the QQQ between 5 day and 20 day. And 5 day has crossed below. So it's a tricky one. ES still below its VWAP, can't get through it. What else did I do this weekend? Trying to think. Oh yeah, watched Arsenal win 5-0. That felt good. Went out for some breakfast with a buddy of mine. I had a nice weekend, nice and chill weekend. Watched Guns Up last night on the sofa with my wife. Just relaxed. Oh, and I made a new indicator, which I will probably launch for free this week. It was actually made for one of my students in the room to try and help him find a strategy pretty much based off flow zones on a M5 to help. So I'll probably launch that this week, maybe even tomorrow. And I'll make it free. I'll make it free for people because I'm kind like that. Okay, so still rejecting that New York Open, still nothing to do. We need to see if we're going to be bullish. We want to see base above here and ideally above here. If we're going to be bearish, we want to see some kind of liquidity built down here. This right now is a no play zone. So you can see the flow zone's all sideways, view up sideways, down slant 24-hour view up, flat New York view up. Nothing to do here. Nothing to do here, folks. Morning, Tyson. Morning, morning, morning. I can give you a little preview of, I don't know if you can see that. This is what I've been working on to help you all. All right, so it will repaint based on EMAs. I've called it Trend Friend Pro. The white candles are your inside bars. All right, so when the 21 is below the 200, like here, you're looking for bearish. When the 21 is above the 200, you're looking for bullish. This will show you if the 21 is above or below the 200 on multiple time frames up here. And it will also signal, these are 2-leg pullback signals, all right? And it will do the same. So currently we're in a sell on a 5-minute. If we do a 2-leg pullback signal, it will fire a little purple dot as well, like you have these green dots here. And it will repaint the bars for you. And you can also filter it, all right, based on ATR. All right, so if you put an ATR filter on, it will print gray bars like it has here because they're not strong bars. So that's what I'm working on for you lot for free at the moment. Because I'm kind like that. All right, starting to see this squeeze back up. Re-attempting that New York session open again. Still ES beneath the VWAP. At the moment, Richard, I've only built it for TradingView. I will. The coding for NinjaTrader is so much harder, but I will have a go. I will have a go. So 5 minutes until you get that new bar. 30-minute looking pretty bullish at the moment. After that dip and rip. Oh, don't move that, Alex. That'll be a problem. Yeah, still under its VWAP. Still looks like it wants to trade upside overall to me. It's just whether we want to come and sweep. Those players still there on ES. They're still there on ES. I do not like those big orders being down there on ES. Not what I want to see. Feels like we want to squeeze here. It's just you need Nvidia, Microsoft, and Meta to go red to green. Tesla's lagging behind. Amazon's lagging behind. Back to that New York Open. Still can't get through that New York Open and lower time frame algo. All right, ES still can't get through its VWAP. Just stuck here. It feels like we want to squeeze, but I think we've got to wait for this new hourly and 4-hour bar. That's what it feels like to me. It's going to make us wait, I think. All right, VWAP again here. ES the same. VWAP again on ES. If they start reclaiming these, we go upside. Remember, previous day value area low is yet to be retested. I actually don't want this to squeeze before the 4-hour. Yeah, exactly as well. DK, thank you. Home sales as well. Forgot that. News, top of the hour. All right, I'm going to get a refill on my coffee. Hopefully this doesn't rip faces while I'm gone. I'm just having a giggle with my wife. She was having a nightmare last night. She woke up to her sort of screaming in the night. I said, "Are you okay?" She went, "No." Okay, coming into the session high right now. You can see the squeeze starting now. Right, we just talked about this, didn't we? New 4-hour, an hour candle coming. They're trying to start this squeeze. The question is, can they base above the VWAPs right now? I guess is the bigger question at the moment. Are they able to base above VWAPs? And if they do, can we trade up to previous day value area high? You've got just over a minute left until the new hour and 4-hour candle sets. So watching to see this now. Want to be careful. It looks pretty bullish to me. This looks like it's ready to get going. So here's your opening range high now being taken out. So the bulls are in control here. Shorts currently in the session are stuck underneath these lows. All right, and if we start reclaiming, remember this level here, previous day value area low, that will be a target for longs. If we reclaim that, we're going to look for a gap fill, which is this yellow line, and then previous day point of control up here, and then all the way to the top extension. If we keep failing this up here, you want to be careful, but I think there's good reason to look for something like this, but I want to wait for this hour and 4-hour candle to form. We can think about the red to green level on the hour and 4-hour candle, where it's going to be. Probably coming up towards testing this sort of downtrend at the moment on that hour and 30-minute sort of candles, the controlled selling downtrend. If we start breaking through that, like I said, I think it can just be a bull flag. I think we need to repair higher at the moment. So here we go, new hour and 4 hour candle, and we're starting to squeeze up. So previous day value area low coming up now. If you're in this, TP1 is right here, right now. There we go. So failing previous day value area low. Sorry, I'm just having to like make sure my levels are matching up here because I don't think they're quite matching up on NinjaTrader. Again, if someone can do an indicator to fix that, that would be amazing. That's what I'd love. So failing previous day value area low, that's why it was TP1. To see if they base here now. If they don't base here now, it will be a problem. It will be a problem for the market. So holding VWAP, ES back into its VWAP. You had news just drop as well, folks, in case you didn't know. Starting to hold that VWAP. Can we turn all those levels into support? Do we trade back through previous day value area low? If we do, then maybe we trade to previous day point of control. And then we're looking previous day value area high if the market can get going. So Google getting going, Apple getting going, Nvidia getting going here. I want to see Microsoft, Meta, and Amazon will join in for extensions higher at this point. So that dip and rip holding off that, what's that? Holding London lows right now and VWAP. So quite clearly, a clear rejection of previous day value area low, but bulls in control. Right, previous day value area low. This is why it's TP into that, because you know this is a balance range. This is the edge of the balance range. Sellers trying to keep that heavy. If you're going to stay bullish now, you want this to hold and this to reclaim, and then you're looking for gap fill and previous day point of control. All right, so far looking good. Can we get going here? Yes, starting to hold VWAP. SPY holding its VWAP. Google dragging this market up. Nvidia now 0.5% up. We look good. I just want to see us get through that previous day value area low. Once we get through that and base above it, I feel much better. Otherwise, it's taking profits every time we sort of drive up into it. They need to reclaim this level. Reclaim this level, and we go back inside the old balance range, and we're looking for a rotation, right? Reclaim this level. We're looking to trade up into these. Reject this level, and you want to be careful because this is where sellers are trying to hold the market down from. It's Friday's edge of the balance range. And there is a little imbalance here on an H1 up to 55s. Okay, so stop hunt 37 up to 55 is possible. I just want to see it squeeze through. Previous day high is quite a long way away right now, mate. It's all the way up here. Ideally, you'd get there, but I think you need to pay attention to value. PDC, remember this is cash gap fill, right? That will be a level. These are weekly levels, daily levels, weekly levels. Actually, a last TP is all the way up here. It's your last TP. Once we get through that, right, we're looking for a fresh test of supply at 720s. I mean, it's possible we get up there. I don't know if it does it today, but it's possible. So far, we look good. So here's value area low again. Can we start to get through this and start to accelerate to the upside now? Yes, so far lagging behind a little bit. Let's have a look at the book. The book's looking good for a move up into 87s, definitely 75s if possible, and then 87s. Here we go, folks. Looking good, looking good. This is what we want to see. I'm going to watch that weekly value area high as well, 560 for those weekly traders. We've got PDC here. Once we gap fill, you must take partials into this, into that gap fill. And then we can think about London high, 570, Asia high, 600, and then all the way up. Make sure you're paying yourself along the way. What indicators am I using? I'm using my flow zones. All right, flow zones with volume, that's all it is. So this right here, flow zones, these are just VWAPs. So everything here is my flow zone indicator. And then this is just volume profile with previous session volumes lined up. So if we can base above previous day value area low, I still think we can squeeze higher. We have relative weakness in the ES. It's the one thing at the moment. I'm just going to turn this light down a bit. It's blinding my eyes. Oh, don't want to do that. There we go. So still looking for expansion if possible. We can see there's lots of liquidity above us on the book. On the book map, you see all these orange levels. That's where I think we want to target into. Just can the ES get going, I guess, is the bigger question right now. Yes, try and find a bid at VWAP. Just be careful here. They need to show some strength here now. VIX starting to fill its gap, coming into an old RBS level here. So VIX, if we're going to fail 1465 on VIX, we want to see it fail to 1450s and then previous day low. We're holding value, previous day value area low really well at the moment. ES trying to bid off VWAP. We want to just see some strength come into the broader market here. We don't want to see all the work done by Google. We are extended from the flow zone, so just want to be very careful here. Still in this long, but I want to see expansion. I want to be careful if there's a snap here. Thinking about this hourly candle, 4-hour candle. Want to see it hold 520s at this point and print a big green candle higher. Why 520s? Because that was the transition on the hour, right? Right. Oh, it's actually here, isn't it? Yeah, 519, 520s. Right, it needs to hold this. Right, this level here is where the new 4-hour and hour went green. All right, so if we die under here, that is a problem. So all pullbacks for me need to hold this kind of area. ES looking better here. Come on, ES. Come on, ES. Get through those 75s. Let's have a quick look at the book on ES. Have they pulled it? Orders are still there. I don't like that. So need to see ES get through 75s and just rip a face up to 85 at the moment. We look good here. We're looking better now. Looking better now. I would really like to see these buy orders way, way lower than us vanish. NQ looks like it wants to reach up. ES is a bit less convincing. We look at the tape. These buys on ES. So one of them's just left, which is good. We'd like to see them all leave. Whereas NQ looks good. That 1,000 lot trimmed all the way down to 216 now. And liquidity being added above. I want to see us trade into these, fill all these participants, and we can start taking some money out of the market there. Here we go, folks. They're still holding this up nicely at the moment. Just can we squeeze through? 550 seems like a sort of psychological level here. Through that, I think we go 70s. Previous week value area high up there, and right there, 70s PDC. Must take some partials into that move, right? That's your PDC based on cash. Nice. Here we go, team. All right. So coming into previous week value area high and PDC. Keep squeezing market. ES starting to get going now. We're looking good. If we get through PDC, we're looking for previous day point of control. But make sure you're paying yourself, all right? Because we're still an inside bar. Think about the daily, still an inside bar. Really nice. So why is this working? There's the sweep this morning. There's your two leg. Shorts don't get the breakdown of the low. They get stuck. There's your push pull. There's the buy signal. We wait there for expansion, and now we're starting to trade up to PDC. All right, so you're going to need to see this hold here. And what was the other level I said? The transition point, like 19s or something, 519s, somewhere around here. You don't want it to pull back beneath this, really. So any pullback here, if we're looking for continuation, needs to hold that. If it does a trap down there, we have to wait for the reclaim of 19s. All right, MAG's starting to go green. Microsoft and Amazon just lagging behind a little bit, but they're almost there. So Tesla 0.25% up, Nvidia 0.63% up, Meta just gone green, Google 0.81% up, Apple 0.33% up, Amazon 0.07% down, Microsoft 0.03% down. Those start going to red to green and we start squeezing, it would be beautiful for this market for an upside move. ES still lagging behind, not making new high of day there. So you've got relative weakness in the ES currently this morning. So the broader market making it a little bit tricky. Hopefully some of you locked in more money there again. Base hit, base hit, base hit. Hold your runners. See if they go. Still holding previous day value area low right now. So reclaiming that range from Friday. All right, just zoom out. Think about what we talked about this morning. Starting to play out, isn't it? Here's your big imbalance. All right. Here's your controlled selling. Here is controlled selling. Here is a sweep. Here's expansion. If we do this, where are we coming? Here. And this is our unfinished business, right? This right here is supply that we've yet to test. This is where I want to see the market get up to. Doesn't have to do it today, but that's what I'm looking to see the market do. All right. If we push up here and fail and get stuck under here, then and only then will I trade back downside. Otherwise, I'm looking for higher time frame. Remember, because this is for me, it's a bullish move, a pullback. I'm looking for expansion higher. And so it's higher time frame, which is getting us into these charts. Here we go. Lovely market. Let's go, baby. Yeah, I don't really care about the new home sales. Why? Because we haven't made a rate cut. It's kind of, for me, it's a bit of an irrelevant print. Once they make a rate cut, those home sales will start flying. Which is why I've been positioned long in open. Anyone who's joined me in that, I'm up well over, well, about 160% right now. So open again, basing over fives. Basing over fives, my average price is 198. That's like a, I don't know, 11-day, 12-day swing trade, all based on macro thesis and shorts getting squeezed. Very, very nice. All right, watching Q's. Q's getting close to gap fill here on QQQ. ES, massive weakness there. Just got absolutely hammered. So be very careful here. SPY just got absolutely nailed there. Do I follow Eric Jackson? I do not. I don't even know who that is. Who is that, JD? Is it someone I need to follow? All right, still basing here over previous day value area low. Relative weakness in the ES. It just got absolutely hammered there. It's yet to make a new high of day. The last high of day it made was before the 10 o'clock and it's pulling back aggressively. We are still holding that transition, the 4-hour, 1-hour transition we talked about. Still look good for higher, but we have got weakness in the broader market here. He's a big pumper behind open. Oh, is he really? I mean, I don't really care for those rooms. For me, from a macro standpoint and a technical breakout standpoint, it made perfect sense. And also, all the guys I used to trade short side with it are also fixated on getting like a 10% pullback move to short. And I just think it's stupid right now. The macro environment is saying higher. Here we go. Here we go. Previous week value area high and PDC coming up. So he's like a Zach Morris type character, is he? All those guys from Atlas, that kind of guy. So QQQ almost filled its gap here. So the ETFs have almost filled their gap. Or at least QQQ has. SPY's miles away. So just make sure you're paying yourself. Bigger player. Okay, cool. I'll check him out. Thank you, mate. Now, for me, it just made sense from I wanted to get into the housing market, basically, and that was a cheap stock with a big short float interest. For me, it was already priced down a lot, so it made sense once it started to base. All right, here we go. Can we get extensions here? Is ES going to join in? You can see on the book here above us, 60, 62, 65, 67, 70s. They're all looking to get filled to the sell side. That will basically build people taking partials or profits into PDC. All right, so this is your TP right now. Make sure you've paid yourself, right? We've been long all the way from here up into this. You're up 50, 60 points. Make sure you're paying yourself some money. I'll check that out, JD. Thank you. Let me add that to my list if you're saying that. How do I add one? RKT. Rocket. All right, PDC coming up here, folks. Qs. All right, QQQ ETF has, it's missed it by 2 or 3 cents here, but it's basically filled, all right? So QQQ is basically filled. So the ETF has basically filled its gap. Just be aware of that. That was our target. And then above this, if we're going to bid above this, all right, we're looking for weekly and daily levels above. But really, you've had some nice trades here this morning, all right? The trap here for a trade back to New York. Here for a trade up into value and PDC. All right, you should have made your money. Low-hanging fruit so far on the session has been taken. There is more low-hanging fruit above, but it's going to need the broader market to join in. You're not really seeing that right now. Look at ES, relative weakness on ES. If I show you ES, that's why you've got to make sure you're paying yourself. All right, I don't know why this is like this, but all right, weak here. Remember, we've just printed on the Qs. We're up here. Right, so we're holding behind on ES. It's not making new highs. You want to be careful of this on the ES. And Q looks good though. Anyone else locking in some money here with me this morning on these trades? Christopher Hooper got some. Sorry, Christopher Hopper. I always do that. Don't know why. Must have gone to school with someone called Hooper or something. Or maybe I just think the rugby player from Australia. Tyson getting it. Nice work, my friend. Alan Bailey with it. Richard with it. JD with it. Calypso with it. Marek with it. Alan Bailey got it. Minji got it. Lovely, folks. Locked in some cash. Coop's Corner goal hit. Still sitting here chilling, watching you guys enjoying the day. Nice work, Leron. Good discipline. BU got it. Shane got it. Completely flat this morning, just watching. Okay, no worries. Ken got it. Tiba got it. Swami got it. Leron got it. Jesse got it. Nice work, folks. Nice work. All right. Make sure you are locking some in. Like I said, the QQQ has effectively filled its gap. All right. NQ didn't quite get it. QQQ has effectively filled it. ES is still just chopping around sideways. Relative weakness in the ES. We are still holding value area low, previous day value area low. We are still holding it on the Qs right now. We're trying to bid upside. It's just, I wonder if it needs like a little washout, dip down to sort of 520s and then a reclaim of value area low before it does anything else. That's what I'm wondering right now. Just because it's stuttering here a little bit, it might need more intraday shorts trapped in to do anything else. So I'm definitely not adding to my position up here. Even though I want to see us trade into these levels, I want to be careful. Because we're in an inside bar, right? We're still inside Friday's action. Really, I would love to see this market. It doesn't have to do it today, but I'd love to see us trade above here. Once we get above here, I'm risk off, all right? And then I'm ready for either a failed breakout or, like we talked about pre-market, a reclaim of supply and go sideways, because we've got some participants up there that we can use for new all-time highs, right? So that's what I'm waiting for later in the week. So that's why I'm waiting for a weekly model. One way or another, I think we get a really good weekly model this week. Those who have done the course, that's what I'm looking for. Yes, trying to find bids at VWAP here. Did we get London high? They didn't get Asia high, didn't get London high yet. ES back under its VWAP again. ES is struggling here, folks. So I'm risk off now, just waiting now. I'm wondering if they do this trap and then back up, or if they just fail to do the rotation and collapse it. Where's this liquidity on ES? Is it still there? It's still there. All right, it's just the one thing. I don't like these buys being down here on ES. They're acting like a bit of a magnet, which could cause some weakness in the queues. Back to the opening range here. So this could be the trap that we just talked about, right? Because that's the hourly and 4-hour transition. We talked about it. 19s right here. It's just held that. So it's come back to test red to green, finding a bid. It's just a shame ES looks like absolute garbage. VWAP sort of flattening out a bit here as well. Lack of momentum in the market at the moment. We'll give it a bit longer, see if we can get something 10:30 or something, see if there's something pushing. I keep forgetting these levels on ES. 60 and 55. Okay. For me, still bullish sentiment on this market, not looking for shorts. Unless we start breaking down underneath the daily lows, current day lows, I'm not looking for shorts. I still think the bias is upside until it proves otherwise. So either it sets up longs or I'm leaving it alone, right? So watching to see if they set this trap. Do me a favor, folks. At least 100 of you watching now have not hit that like button. I'm here for free every single day for you. You can help me by helping this stream grow every day. All you got to do is slap that like button. We do giveaways on stream. Tomorrow I will give away an indicator for you all I've been working on. All you got to do is support the stream a little bit. It's not that hard. All right, this is starting to look like that trap. All right, we just talked about it. Sweep under these lows. This is the 4-hour, 1-hour red to green level. So far, it's holding it. If this is a 2-leg pullback and we start doing this, we can look to trade upside. A little early right now, but it's starting to potentially set it. Volume's kind of died down at the moment, so I'm just waiting to see if some players come back into the market. Just watching the book map, you can see it's kind of clear. I want to see us get back through the 50s and then see if we come and take out PDC. This is looking a bit better now. So there's the 50s. Is ES going to join in as well? Rejection of 50s there, right in front of it. I want to see us squeeze through 50s. Is there any liquidity higher? Yes. 65 70s. Okay. And that would be gap fill. Okay, so I still think at the moment it looks like it wants to try and get to gap fill. ES is the one that's sort of holding us back at the moment, dragging us down, unable to find a strong bid because there's so many big buyers underneath at ES at the moment. It's a bit of a little bit of a problem. You can see them on the bookmap here. These guys need to leave. These guys need to leave the tape. Until they leave the tape, ES is going to struggle, I think. Waiting to see if we can set up. Starting to look better, but no confirmation yet. Just dancing around in range. This could be a 1, 2, maybe it holds here, base above here, potentially. But we're starting to build out a lot of volume here, so I don't want to get caught in this. I want to see protection of this kind of play. Yeah, still rejecting view up, still lagging behind. Back to 50s again. You can see it's just chopping back and forwards. The NQ wants to move higher. They're just making it hard for this market at the moment with the divergence. Oh, nice, Tyson. So you got filled. Beautiful. Yes, back to view up again. How many times back to view up, back to view up, back to view up without being able to like base above? Have to recognize that a little bit at the moment. Owen J, hey, I use Sierra charts to trade. Will that be a problem if I join your course? I have trading view. No, it won't be a problem. You can execute in whatever you want. Whatever you want, my friend. No problem there at all. Watching ES to see if it reclaims view up here on the millionth attempt. Here goes Q. So like I said, Qs want to move higher. See if this trap plays out now. Need to see ES start to respond. Looking good here now at this point. Momentum coming back into the chart. A little bit of volume picking up here. So I want to see breakthrough now. Looking good. Here we go, folks. Can we get some follow through? ES has got a follow through here. Here we go. Starting to see some follow through. Any juice? Is there any juice in this market? Come on, ES. It's really struggling. They do not want to bid ES up. They just don't want to bid it up. It's all because of these guys. It's all because of these guys. If these guys leave, all right, then I think they'd start chasing this market higher. That is an ugly, ugly tape on ES. What time did they come in? 9 o'clock this morning. Exceeded my target already. Oh, nice work, Richard. Yeah, all you guys in the room are doing great this morning. Don't give back. You know, if you've hit your daily target, unless there's an A+, you don't need to trade, right? We're trading an inside bar. Think about the daily. We're currently trading an inside bar. We were bullish, looking for a push higher. I'm still of that mindset until something changes. All right, higher time frame for me is suggesting that we want to try and trade higher. We've created a lot of liquidity from Friday through Asia, through London, for us to try and explore and take out all the stops. And I feel like Friday's high is probably needs to be repaired. Why do I say that? It's got a 3 peak high there. There's not much excess left there, and supply is up at 720. So ideally, I want a cheap buy to come and explore through Friday's high up into Monday, Tuesday range of last week where that supply is, and then I'll be risk off. And if we fail that at any point this week, maybe we trade up there Monday, Tuesday, we fail, or push through Wednesday, fail Wednesday, and we can trade back inside the range Thursday, Friday. We reclaim it, then we keep expanding higher Thursday, Friday. That's where my head's at. All right, initial balance now set, and we're sort of pinned in the top third, I'd say. Where's the low? It's right here, isn't it? It's on the higher time frame. That'll go. Big players just come back in the market, folks, right? You can see them above 23,505, 1,000 lot just come back on the tape there. So he's probably playing for these ES guys to get filled, which we're starting to dance down towards them a bit more now. So I'm just going to wait here because I don't like seeing that 1,000 lot down there at 505s. Is that VWAP? It's under VWAP, right? New York VWAP, right? 1,000 lot on the New York VWAP. You can see him above me on the book map. He literally just came on tape like 90 seconds ago. He was there this morning, he left, and he's come back. Bias is still higher for me today. It's just how can we get involved? Ooh. Dancing in this range up here. This could have been a bear trap, but we've not then based above and pushed. And everything's starting to flatten out a bit. So here's your IB to IB. Here's New York VWAP. This is where the 1,000 lot is. This is a low volume node. This here is a builder volume. We either need to get above it or break below and reclaim it, or break below and reject it for that trade down. I probably will not take that short back down today. I mean, that's probably the hardest trade setting up on the day. So I don't think I'll take the short. I'll stay looking for longs unless we break beneath these lows and build out liquidity like we talked about. So I'll consider shorts. You might be that's really late, but I'll consider shorts if we see a big fail and a build down here. But until that, I don't really want to get short in here. I think it's too risky. My bias is upside, right? My bias is upside because of where the liquidity higher time frame is resting. It's just whether there's a way of getting involved. So back to those 50s again, psychological number. All of the mag other than Microsoft now green, and Microsoft is only 0.05% down. I just want to see some of these start to put on a bit of a face ripper. Google, the stronger one, 1.42% up today on the session. I'd say Microsoft, Amazon, and Meta all dancing sort of red to green. They're all sort of there or thereabouts. So they filled their gaps. Question is, are they going to start to squeeze, or have they just filled cash gap to come back down? QQQ, remember, pretty much filled its gap, was almost there. NQ, looking for that gap fill into basically 70s. Bias is still upside. My bias for the day is upside until it proves otherwise. Move this up for you. Sorry, folks. Come on, NQ. Come on, ES. Just get going, and so NQ can get going here. Volume's just sort of disappeared out of the market for a bit. Thought we were picking up on these bars here, but it sort of disappeared a little bit. Don't really want to participate at this point. Look how much volume we've built up here from going sideways. That's your point of control. This would be considered discount, but it needs to be a trap. We had one trap, and then it's not really done much since. So, oof. I don't know. it's a waiting game at this point. Don't want to become liquidity. You want to wait for them to build liquidity and then use it. Ideally bear traps. Ideally bear traps to trade higher. Yeah, still trying to bid and find a bid above VWAP. Maybe we can get going here. Just want to see expansion on ES. I want to see the markets joining. Q's getting very close to that gap fill. Pretty much already did it on the ETFs, but it didn't quite do it. Missed it by like 3 cents or something. So maybe coming back for that gap fill. So really you're looking at auction, failed auction theory here. If we can build an auction over the IB, then we're looking for expansion higher. If we can't build an auction over IB, if we push over IB and fail, then you're looking for a range rotation day back into VWAP, which would fit thesis of an inside day. Alex, I know you said on a recent podcast you tend to use NinjaTrader for execution and TV for stream. Is that still the case? Yeah, I only execute on NinjaTrader. If you go on my YouTube, there is a free video on NinjaTrader on how to make it look sort of as close to your trading view as possible. Here we go, folks. So coming for this gap fill now. Once we get through the next 5-10 minutes, I'll try and post it for you. Just want to see if there's a trade setting up here, Christopher, and then after that I can post it to you. All right, another buyer on the tape here at 520s now. This is kind of gross. So big buyer, 500 lot at 520s, 1,000 lot at 500. Is that normal size? Absolutely not. It's not normal to see that size. They are sort of making it very, very clear what they want to do, which makes me think it's probably not what they want to do. All right, so into initial balance. Watching here, I've got a little guy on now because ES is starting to base over VWAP, but it is only a little guy until we start getting through PDC. Come on then, market. Want to see us trade through PDC, through 70s, then 85s and 90s are on the book. Almost there. So being careful in case this is a failed auction. ES still not up towards its IB. Still think we can go higher. My bias on the day is a push higher. We are coming into Asia highs here. All right, just want to see us take out Asia high and then we can sort of reassess. Come on, you got to fill that gap. We have got divergence here. Okay, so the ETF did fill its gap. QQQ's filled its gap. NQ has not filled its gap. So there is divergence there. I want to be very, very careful seeing that. So cash players now have achieved their job of filling the gap. Futures players haven't. So if we start flushing here, it's because the cash are like, okay, that's what we wanted to do. We're out. We've made our rotation for the gap fill and we're out. And it's very possible. So I want to be cautious. Oh, you've already seen it. All right, got you. Yeah, I mean, if you're executing, all you've got to do is plot the same levels, really. Obviously, I use my flow zone, so everything is based on them, which I have on NinjaTrader. So, I mean, I would, if it was just me and I wasn't teaching, I would just use NinjaTrader. I wouldn't even need TradingView, but I think it's way easier for me to draw on and explain on. Like, because I don't have like a pen that I can get to easily like this. I don't have the Control Z function. Simple things like that on NinjaTrader make it very hard for me to teach on it. Right, ES failing to get up to its IB, back underneath the VWAP, relative weakness in the ES. This is looking worse and worse and worse by the minute for upside moves on the NQ. All right, if we cannot get a broadened market rotation higher, then I'm less and less interested in this, and it would be an inside session and more of a leave alone and come back tomorrow and see if it's built liquidity Monday to use Tuesday. That's what it's starting to feel like more and more and more at the moment. Back to previous day value area low. But this is where the volume's been created today. If they just trap buyers here and they start flushing under here, we can rotate, especially with the weakness on ES. But man, this is these players down here. I'm just cautious. If they pull their bids, what happens? Are those guys still on the ES? They are still there on the ES. So a couple market makers having some fun here in this session by the looks of it. That moved. Hang on a sec. In fact, let me do it on a 30-minute chart so I don't have to move yours. Sunday. This week, oh, that is correct. Okay. Morning, John Dennis. Morning, everyone. Market just slowed down a bit here, so I've slowed down as well. Locked in some good money this morning already. 2 nice trades. Well, 1 nice trade, 1 okay trade. And now just watching. ES is very weak. Very weak. Look at these players. This is what I mean. I'm not touching this. Look at this guy pulling his order as soon as we start to fail. So this is games on the tape. And I'm not willing to play their games on the tape. This is how I know this guy's full of shit. Like I said, these guys are trying to get filled on ES, which I don't like. This guy is just blatantly obvious spoofing all morning. 1,000 lot. He did it earlier and he's just done it again. So we have to wait. See if this 500 lot gets filled or not. ES coming back down to sweep it low of range. It might come all the way back down to initial balance at this point. NQ still relative strength above the opening range, above the VWAP, above previous day value area low, but the broader market is weak. Edge of this volume at the moment, you can see it right here. Do they protect this low volume like they did down here or not? That's kind of the question. Did ES sweep there? Didn't. Has not swept 67s. Don't think this is ready yet until they do that. And like I said, they're spoofing on the tape. You can see this guy on the tape. 1,000 lot who just left. as the 500 lot's still there underneath 25s, and ES did not come and clean out 67, so it's got a lot of lows down there at 67s. Took the trade on SPY this morning. It'd be the cleaner move. I think it'd be a cleaner move, yeah. It's just swapped, doesn't it, where ES is being a pain in the butt. I mean, a 5-minute chart on SPY looks like it wants to rotate lower at the moment. Five-minute chart on NQ, I'd say any pullback that holds really 500s, 520 to 500 can be absorbed to go higher. That's what I'd say on NQ at least at the moment. 520 to 500s if they pull back and hold that to go higher. But the problem is, if we pull back there, ES is probably going to break its initial balance low and come for that flush. It's just, like I said, I still think it needs to sweep these 67s on the ES, which it hasn't done yet. Now it's just done it. Right, finally done that first move, sweeping 67s. And look at Mr. Spoofer on the tape. Guess who just left? All right, so like we said, playing games here, you can see that 500 lot left now as well. So this is a big participant playing games on the tape this morning, all right? We cannot compete with big participants playing games because they will move the market around as they see fit, all right? We have to be careful when we see stuff like this. My bias has remained higher, but these guys are playing games to try and get filled where they want. Here we go. So now that ES swept, now maybe they do the squeeze. I don't know. Time will tell. Still holding that previous day value area low. But this is the build of volume. And anything under here can trap to go higher. Anything that collapses here, there might be a rotation down. But again, this is not a trade I'm taking today. I want to focus on the longs unless we're underneath here, because I think in here you can get chopped. So I want to focus on the longs because I think higher time frame we want to move higher. So I'm focused on long only today until we take out clean levels and back test that supply made Monday, Tuesday last week. Man, so this is what we talked about. If you think about the tape, we drifted down to come and fill these guys and then they left. Once they left, there was no reason to go lower because there's no one to fill. So now it goes back upside. So that's how they're playing games. They're probably, I don't know what their game is here. Maybe they were like buying these dips, hoping shorts would just get stuck into this to come and fill them. So back to VWAP on the ES again after sweeping now. So probably more chance of moving higher at this point on the ES after sweeping if it can start to pivot. The only level left it could sweep now is 65, and if it does that, it's coming low of day. So you'd need to see a higher low put in here on ES and then attempt a push higher back through VWAP. It's also okay not to touch this if you've made your money, folks, and if you're not comfortable, it's okay not to play. I'm still looking for longs where possible. I want to see sort of some traps start to set up. ES is looking a bit better. If we can reclaim VWAP here, I think we got a shot. Thanks, Alex, again for the generous coaching. Continue to enjoy analysis. See you tomorrow. No worries. Here we go. Here's the trap starting to play. So back to initial balance. Can we pop the highs now? Can ES reclaim VWAP? Can we go and fill this gap to PDC? And then can we trade upside to previous week value area? And what did we say? We want to take out that Asia high, basically 570s, London high 600s, and then we can really get going for that move back up to previous day point of control. Now starting to get going. So all it needed was ES to come and sweep by the looks of it. So in this long, can we get extension? Looking to get some filled into PDC and then see if we can hold runners for a big old squeeze out. Come on, almost filled me there into PDC. Let me get one off at least. Come on, baby. You're almost there. You're almost there. Tapping, filled. Okay, perfect. So runners now looking for expansion higher. This is why I'm staying with the long thesis. So we're looking for 85s and 90s. You can see them on the book above. And we're looking for the moves like we talked about all day. Here's gap fill. All right, this is your Globex high. Up here, Asia high. So we just took out London high. We're looking to try and take out Asia high, retest previous day point of control and value area high. All right. And then if we get up here, ideally we can break out. I don't think it's going to come today by the looks of it. I think this push here comes tomorrow. So maybe we can do something like this tomorrow. And then we can think about either this move here or a base here to go higher. Make sure you're locking some in here to PDC, please, folks. So like I said, I was focused on the longs. We think about what we've done today. All right, we're trying to get up into these ideally. All right, we're trying to get up into these. ES just needed to do the trap and sweep, which is why I was watching it. If you want to know what I was talking about. This here needed to be swept. This was bulls chasing. They swept them, came back, reclaimed. Now this has a chance, right? If it can pull back and hold this, ES now has a chance. So the question is, can can NQ now hold 560s? It's filled its gap. Can it pull back, hold 560? Trump is live. Are you joking me? No. Please don't say that. I didn't have that scheduled anywhere. Oh my god. Okay, just signing executive orders, so it all depend on the Q&A afterwards. Oh, he's already talking. All 7 swing states winning by millions. What I would give for like a market where this man just doesn't talk, I would love it. Districts, I guess we won 3,500. We won 2,750, and they won 500. And that's to me the best of all. And we had tremendous. All right, let's listen. Well, he's not wrong. Already attacking the media. He's not wrong, though. They are corrupt. All right. Why has that died? All right, I'm going to get a reload here on coffee. Lock some into that. With him talking, I'm less interested. Also, we've had 3 drives now, so I'm a little concerned. Uno, dos, tres. Want to be careful. Here's your channel, folks. Right, we're bullish, but be very careful because what are good pullbacks? First pullback, second pullback, after third. Do we like it? Less so. Okay, less so. So runners only at this point. I'm going to get another reload on my coffee. I'll be back. Amazing wife making me a coffee, which is nice. It was scheduled, was it? Did I just miss it? Maybe I missed it. Oh, sorry, it's covering your screen. What about on... Was it on Financial Juice? Was there. I missed it. I didn't have it this time, though. 9 o'clock. Executive orders, 7 o'clock. I missed it. It was right there. My bad. Oh, well, we had some pretty good trades there. The first coming into 11 o'clock now. New hourly bar coming again. Flat now on this. We just have to wait. Like I said, 3 drives. We want to be cautious here. 3 drives. ES again, failing again, just chopping in range. Do not become the liquidity today, folks. Do not become the liquidity. It is a fight. It's because of the higher time frame, right? So we go to a 1H. On the wrong chart. Sorry, folks. We go to a 1H. All right, you can see what we've done here this morning. Here's your old RBS. Right, this was last week. Here's Friday. Here's the pullback. We're looking for this for a first test of here. This is our R level. Right, we want to see this flag do this because this is expansion, accumulation. We want to see it come up here. That's the easiest ideal move. Once we get up there, we can think about what next. The tough thing is we go to a daily. Right, really, when you think about it, we're inside. I mean, we can actually see it on an hourly chart. If we think about the ETFs, here to here is your ETF inside, right? So we're inside. We're protecting 50%. We're looking for upside, but we're still an inside bar. There's no breakouts in the market yet. Once we get through here, all the shorts from Friday get squeezed out and we come and test that true level. That's what I'm looking for. All right. And that was planned. It was in the weekly newsletter. If you got the newsletter, it was in the newsletter. We went over it. Exactly what I was looking for and why with the key levels. And if you're in Discord, it was the first thing we were looking at this morning. The first trade set up, this one right here. Dip, hold, and expansion up here. All right. Oh, it's having another attempt here, isn't it? Back to PDC, reclaiming VWAP. It's trying to fill these players at like 80s and above. That's what it's trying to do, but does it have the juice? I do not know. I do not know. I mean, if it fails to make a high here, this will be attempt number 4 and the first attempt which fails to make a new high. So think about these swings. I like these less at this point. Right, this has really got to get going. If it doesn't get going, if it fails to make a new high here, it probably comes and cleans out all of this. Sellers here, 75, 80, 85, nothing on the tape down below. I'm imagining there's stuff on ES, which is why we're doing it. Yeah, still these guys on ES. Does it break the highs here? Or do buyers get stuck? It's trying. It's trying. Can see them here. 75, 80, 85, 90. They're all there on the tape trying to get filled, these sellers. They're trying to get a squeeze up to get filled. ES has still got a way to go to get to its initial balance. I'm going to shut Trump up because he's just rambling about bollocks right now. Never heard someone talk around a subject so much as this man. He can talk for hours without getting to a point. It's incredible. It's quite a skill, actually. There's still no breakout here. Remember, if they cannot get the breakout here, we've had 3 drives. 1, 2, 3. If they fail to get the breakout here, it's highly probable then that they come and sweep these participants out of the market. If they get the breakout, then they can get a big old squeeze. But your easy setup trades were like here, here, here. At this point here, I like it less. Even though my bias is higher, I like it less. It's very, very tricky at this point. So here we go. 75, 80s, 85, 90s, 600. If you're still in this, that's what you're looking for the first squeeze up. And ideally, you want to come all the way to previous day point of control, which is all the way at 612s. That's your ideal move. Yeah, still not even at its initial balance. Still not able to take out pivot. Still just dancing around. All of the mag now green, though. You look good on the mag. Move that mic closer so you can hear me. Previous week value area high up here. You need to get acceptance through this to come and take out Asia high. This is Asia high into 600. Point of control, 611s, and then previous day value area high up here, which would mean we would rotate if we can reclaim this and hold here. Like I said, I don't like the longs as much now, but this is what we're trying to do. This move here. The ES is making it very hard to be involved at this point, because that sort of slow grind without expansion opens it up to a deep wash. Didn't see Trump on Forex Factory calendar. Am I missing something? Yeah, I mean, I missed it as well. I didn't see him. It is scheduled as, where is it? Executive orders signing. But obviously, any chance to talk, he will talk, and any chance the media get to ask him about anything unrelated, they won't be asking about executive orders. They will be asking him about Putin, tariffs, firing people in the Fed, and rate cuts. All right, they're not going to ask him about much else. We all know that. That's why you got to be careful. It's hard, isn't it? Because you have Sleepy Joe in the market, and the guy couldn't even talk. He just dribble everywhere, which is arguably even worse. So it's tricky. All right, this looks like it wants to get up there at this point. Can the ES start to get going? It's just so slow, man. No volume. But here are the sellers. 80, 85, 90, and 600s. If you're in this long, that's where you're looking to take partials into. These sellers above. Again, I'm not long at this point. It's a bit too high risk for me. It's beyond my appetite. Where did my coffee go? Did my wife forget? Let's have a look. All right, it's still trying to get up there. If you're in this long, you look really good. You look really good. ES starting to go now. So watching ES, if ES takes out 75, you should be able to get that push on ES to IB high, which is only, 4, 5, 6, 7 ticks higher. Yeah, I've got a question for you guys. Some of you guys are very good at tech. 2 things are happening over the next few weeks. All right. Those in who have done the course, everything will be moving to a new server. All right. I will have to transition you all to a new server where I can keep everything in one place. So bear with me while I transition you all. But in the meantime, I want to make this new indicator available for anyone, but what I want to do is have it on a sign up. So you put your email, your name, your email, and your TradingView, what do you call it, username. Is there a way for me to create like a form to do that, and what's the best way to do it? You still look good here. Here's previous week value area high being tagged into. Now you must take a little partial here into this. If you get squeezed through this, then we're going Asia high, that's 600s, right? This orange line. So you look good. Everything we talked about this morning is playing out. It's just, it's so slow. This is like less than ideal when you see these, right? On 3 drives, less than ideal. But if any of you know like a good form that I can use, a good way of like doing that, because then I have to put all the information into TradingView so that you can all have access to it. I don't want to make it, you know, for people who don't turn up all the time. It's for people that turn up. Morning, Miguel. Here you go. So previous week value area high, they're having a reattempt at this. It's trying to get to Globex once we go through that. So your TPs now, if you are still in this long, all right, your TPs here, 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 and then your last one will be up here. We've been long bias all day. You have not heard me talk about a short once. All I've wanted is longs. The only time I was going to think about short was if we got stuck under here, and we haven't. So we've been long bias because higher time frame wants to move up. Hopefully that's clear for everyone why. We're looking for the hourly 4-hour sort of flag breakout kind of play. Contorted, I just got back from a meeting in time to jump in on this. Just remember your previous week value area high here. ES needs to break above its initial balance. You've got 90 and 600 on the tape. Make sure you're paying yourself, and then you can think about Globex high, previous day point of control, value area high, previous day high. Yeah, that's all you got to do. Stick to the plan. You can publish a TV indicator as invite only, and then you have the ability to add, remove users. Yeah, like what? Like the trading, like the Flowzone Pro. That's what I have for Flowzone Pro, but I need to collect. Oh, can I still, if it's invite only? Problem is with invite only, they can share it with people, and then I don't know who they've shared it with because I don't know everyone's username. Does that make sense? That's the only thing with what you're saying, I think. But maybe I've misunderstood. Take a look at WAP. Yeah, lots of people saying that. I've moved everything to go high level. I think it's better than WAP. WAP's like good for sort of little pages. I think go high level is like got everything in. It's costing me a fair bit to do it all. But I'll check it out. Thanks, Aaron. How long we got left? 50 minutes together. Back to PDC, still holding PDC here. ES still trying to get out to its IB high. It wants to take out its IB high on the ES for sure. That's what it's trying to do. It really wants to get to IB high. I thought the invite only had to approve users so you can share, but the people they share with, you have to be approved. Yeah, I don't think so. Or am I getting confused? This, oh, invite only script. Yeah. This is what we have at the moment, but I have to manually add people's names to it, I think. Like, as in, yeah, I have to manually add people's usernames. So I don't know if it will automatically do it. Maybe I've got that wrong. I'll check it. I'll check it out. We'll have a chat off stream, Coop. Maybe I've got that wrong. But at the moment, yeah. So that's why I've asked for everyone's usernames who are members who have bought it. So failing previous week value error high here. You can see it keeps getting stuck up there. ES is not taking out its initial balance. Again, lots of games have been on the tape today. You've got to be taking your partials today. Today's not a day to just sit and hope. And remember, we've had 1, 2, 3, now 4 drives without washing anyone out. You want to be careful. This could easily wreck a lot of people here, in my humble opinion. Do I think we want to move higher? Yeah. Do I think we've got enough liquidity trapped? I'm not sure right now. We've got relative weakness in ES. I think this is a dangerous game to be playing at the moment, which is why I'm not playing it. That's PDC, though. Holding PDC here. Maybe now they get going. Watching ES into IB. If ES expands above IB, you're probably going to be okay. All right, so previous week value area high now taken again. Can they get up into Globex and then previous day point of control? Here's the squeeze. ES through IB. Can it sustain a squeeze higher at this point? So you got 19,600 on the book. Remember, your targets were previous week value area high. Next TP is right here. This is your Asia high. Then here, then here, then here, if you've got enough size left. It's one of those days where we needed to be really patient. When we were buying here this morning, just have to be really patient. I think at some point it probably has to do one of these to get there, which is why I'm a bit concerned. I don't want to be buying up high in this session. Remember, we were buying this morning down here. My first buy was at 465 and then 503. We're now approaching 100 points higher than that in a slow grind. Remember, this is a slow grind. This is how shorts get trapped. Hopefully we can do something like this to go up. But please pay yourself. No, I think you're right. I think you would have to manage users that way. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I was wondering. If is there a form I can set up where it's free, but you provide your name, your email, and your username? That's what I was wondering. Okay. Slowly grinding up. ES has taken out its initial balance high. No bid above it yet. Remember, ES and SPY still yet to fill its gap. So ES, you're looking for a trade up to 83s. And if you're trading the spiders today, you're looking for a trade up to 645.30. All right. And that will be for cash gap fill. Remember, we've already filled the cash gap on NQ right here. Actually, this drive here filled it on the QQQ. So on the ETFs, we've already filled it on the Qs, not filled it yet on the spiders. They're lagging behind on the spiders. So ES currently 0.10% down on the day, NQ 0.06% up on the day. Info risk trader, that is what I'm waiting for. New York VWAP and then maybe along again. Yeah, so you're looking for these participants to keep buying high, buying high, buying high, buying high, learning a hard lesson, and then something like that is what you're looking for. I understand. Maybe underneath this range here or right at the bottom of this range here where you've got volume. If they protect the lower side, maybe. You just want to be careful if they snap it. This, I still wouldn't trade short, but here I would trade short. the amount of traders probably guessing tops right now is huge, and they're just I just don't get it nowadays, really. Like, this seems nuts to me. Coop, oh, just looked to open. 5.57 Coop, we're going eights. I've got to re-look at this, right? Oh, get out of there. Oh, you absolute beauties. All right, let me just think about this as a range. Hang on a second. I'll have to take some more money off the table at some point. Woo-hoo-hoo! What a beauty. What an absolute beauty. I've made my goal on my long-term fund by using, I don't know, 1 or 2% leverage on this. I've made my yearly goal for the whole fund. Crazy. Sorry, folks. I know we're not in queue, but I actually need to do this for me making my own money here. I really like these, Coop. I think these guys here are in trouble. None of them got swept on that way down. If we base above this at some point, I think we take these out and then I'll probably risk off. Fuck yeah, man. Absolute godsend that was. All right, back to NQ. Sorry, folks. How much am I up on this now? Dude, I'm up 174%. That means at one point today I was probably up like 200% on it. Wild. What a sick call. What a sick call. Get some limit orders in there for fills. Kind of wish you joined, Aaron. Yeah, I mean, I did call it out. I don't know if everyone looks at that. Like, what day did we call it out in the swing room? It was quite a while ago. 11th of August. I was still at in the low twos. I did start long-term position at twos. I think I started buying at 198 and adding in. I gave the thesis of why, and then yeah. So on the 11th, what's that? 14 days ago. In 2 weeks, almost up. We're up 170% in 2 weeks. And if you traded the options, I think Izzy got the options. I mean, I dread to think how much Izzy is up on the options right now. That's all good. Next one. We'll get the next one. Okay, ES coming back into initial balance. It's the benefit of joining the room, honestly. My guy that runs the back end of my business stuff, he was saying to me last week, he's like, you need to be doing a tiered room where some of it is subscription. I was like, I know, but I've always hated that, the other side of it, but maybe in the future we'll have to do that. No one in there will ever have to pay because you're grandfathered in. But even if it's a low fee, because you think about it now compared to other rooms that give you here's my inverse fair value gap call out for $100 a month. I'm not giving you swing plays. I'm teaching you, and I'm giving you, your daily moves on the cues, and I'm your agony aunt, and psychology and stuff. And I know Coot was saying a lot of you want to do some 1 hour sessions where you can speak on open mic. So there's lots of things I need to think about at the moment about moving forward because my time is becoming more and more limited. We'll figure something out, but I do want to do like weekly 1 hour calls where you guys can ask questions and stuff. So we're going to think it out. Yeah, like we talked about the weekend, all you've got to do is, make money from prop firms, take the money out, stick it in long-term 5 to 10% sort of yielding accounts. Oh, this is squeezing at this point. Look at these aggressive buyers coming in here. Aggressive buying coming in here, market orders. They want to fill these 600. They're desperate to fill 600. Here you go. Look at this. Just very, very aggressive on the tape. You can see it on the tape. ES wants to get gap fill. So once ES goes gap fill, you need to be, taking partials here. ES is looking for a trade up to 83s, basically. 6483 on the ES. It just held a really nice flag on its initial balance high. It's expanding higher. Here's Globex now. Globex now taken. Sorry, I don't know. I forgot to put that on. Orange line, that's Globex, just been tagged. All right, so we've just taken out, I still think we can go higher, but we've just taken out all the Asia traders. And now, once we get through this, your next partials are 607, 617, 627, lots of sevens here, and then previous day high 651. All right, so boom, 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 all the way up into here. This would be a big level. This is the biggest volume traded from Friday, is right here. All right, so you must take some money out into this. But I think once we get through that, we go value area high. Why? Because we reclaimed value. Once we reclaimed value, where do we want to trade? Point of control, value area high. If we get through this, we sweep this, then it's a question of failure or continuation to that true level of supply, which we talked about this morning and in the weekly newsletter, which got sent out to you yesterday morning. Contorted 2K today on 2 trades. Lovely work, mate. Lovely, lovely work. Yeah, you just got to think, how many people were short bias in this? I reckon lots. I reckon lots. Nice work. Make sure you're paying yourself, team. Those of you that are in this. If you took this sort of soak here, just pay yourself. Scalp along the way. You don't want to get caught in a flush, so you need to be scalping along the way. What do I mean by that? The way they're setting up today is a little bit tricky. So like if you were long here, you're playing this. If you were long here, you're playing, you probably have to take some off here and then hold this. If you were long on here, on the reclaim, you're taking some off into this, right? And then you're holding runners all the way up here where possible. Hourly trend line here. Yeah. I think we're going to really start worrying these shorts. If we start getting through the highs, whether it's this session or next, you'd want to be careful. Very nice, Coop. Yeah. If we get over that level you've posted in Discord and base, you know where we're going. Good eyes. Really good eyes. No worries, Contorted. Nice work. Still think ES and SPY are trying to close the gap. Look at VIX now. All right, VIX coming back down into previous day lows. That is not the VIX. here it is. All right, let's go to a 5 minute. All right, fill in the gap. And again, we talked about this pre-market. There's your gap up, sideways, liquidation, filling gap. All right, if VIX might find a bid down here. So this is the same move as ES trying to get to PDC at the moment. All right, ES trying to get to PDC. If it gets through PDC, you can see you've got liquidity here. If it does this, it's looking for this and then slingshot. You can also steal and failed break. Relative strength in the Qs today, which is why we wanted to be long the Qs. If we're going to be long, it's the Qs we want to be long in. Mag pumping now. Tesla just under 1% up. Nvidia 1.70% up. Microsoft 0.07% up. Meta 0.02% down, so basically flat. Google 1.5% up. Amazon 0.25% up. Apple just under 0.5% up. This thing is slow grind higher. Do not be picking tops in slow grind highs, all right? That's why we slow grind higher, because everyone keeps picking tops in a market which all we've done is expand Friday, pull back, and allow us to get long for a new expansion. It's an accumulation pullback. It's bizarre that people look for shorts so early, but they clearly do, which is why we're just grinding them out. At some point, there'll be a bigger flush in this market. And take out all these late bulls, and then we can think about buying a dip on that again. Right now, locked in my money for the day, just waiting. Sat here talking with you guys. We've got just over half an hour left. Nice, clean session to start the day or to start the week is exactly what we wanted. We are setting up for a great weekly model. If tomorrow can get up to those levels, we have a really good weekly model because we can trade upside, and then we can either trade mean reversion or we can trade expansion based on weekly model Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Especially with the Nvidia earnings after Wednesday. I'll change my stream after today, make it a bit bigger as well. That's on my list to do. If you did nothing else but just take this today, you would have done nice. Let's see how the new indicator would have done, actually. Let's have a look. Look at that. All right, I don't know if Clint's in chat. There you go, buddy. Inside, 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 and then it's offered you add positions on inside bars that we talked about. Get rid of this. All right, there's your inside bar. So it's offered you clean trades this morning as soon as you got the cross. Simple, just making your system simple. All right, all we've done. Pull back and off to the races. Really nice. Really, really nice. Even these down here, inside bars, all that expansion. So I don't know if you're in chat, Clint, but hopefully this has helped you. If you're wondering why I'm saying Clint, I literally spent my time trying to build this indicator to really help one of my students as he moves from a 1 minute to a 5 minute. But you can use it on any time frame. I'd say it probably looks even better on some of the higher time frames at the moment because probably got a good inside bar accumulation earlier in the session. Yeah, here after the stop hunt. Maybe that's something we can add in, stop hunt, and then here. nice. No, it's just a separate one. It's not as advanced as the flow zone system, but it's yeah, it is traded on. I'm just fixing a few issues with it. Yeah. It's basically based on, I don't know if anyone watched that 5-minute video I did. The M5, people that can trade the M5. It's just on that. It's gonna be a free one. Yeah, it's using crosses, inside bars, and ATR levels. That's what it's using, and 2-leg pullbacks. It will be free. It'll be free for everyone. Don't worry. It's a very simple system. I won't be trading it, but it's to help some of my students who are trying to move down up time frames. All right, ES back to initial balance. Does it hold its IB? Can it expand? Remember, you're looking at previous day, point of control. Like your runners now are point of control, value area high, previous day high. That's what you're aiming for on the runners. That is what you're aiming for on the runners. If we get above previous day high, we're looking for a retest of supply up here at 720s. That's the ultimate goal. I don't know if it does it today. It might want to do that tomorrow. There we go. Going to go and take out all these levels. Like I said, I think we need to take out this high because when we look at Friday, I don't see this as a proper high. This is asking for it because what we need is a big wick like that and a close down so that we leave excess. And also it stopped short because where does it want to come? It actually wants to come here, right? This is where the buyers are trapped. It needs to come and test this level and reject that to know that if we're going to put in a daily lower high here, remember we've done this on the daily. If we're going to do this, it needs to do that. If we reclaim that, remember on a daily, how do we look at the moment? We're doing this. It needs to either reject this or this for the rest of the week, right? And this level here is right here in this red box. Just a slow grind higher. Shorts must be absolutely exhausted in this. Why? But why are we going higher? Oh my God, just fail. Just fail. It can't go any higher. Yeah, it can. It can blow up all your accounts, you idiots. That's exactly what it can do. ES hasn't even filled its gap yet. God, I've had so many coffees today. That army workout has done me in. I can feel like, oof. Nah, no flow zone workout. I did like a hour session, 45 to an hour session yesterday, and then at the end of the workout, I did the British Army fitness test. Bit of an ego thing. I think because it's my birthday this week coming up. I was like, I want to see if I could still get into the British Army, so I did the test and I passed. At the end of the workout as well, I'd already done a workout, so I was pretty happy with that. But I'm paying for it today. So I might have the day off the gym. Maybe I'll go for a swim or something. ES still basing here, folks. ES still basing here. So do we see a pullback in this market to run out the late bulls, trap in some more shorts to go higher? No, I'm not turning Goggins on you. Do you know what happened? I watched a few videos at the weekend. One is on YouTube. There's a ex-American Marine who was in London, and he did the British Marine test and failed. And then he did the Army test, passed it, but like lost to the British Army guys. And I was like, I want to do that test. I want to see if I can do that. The hardest bit was the chin-ups because I'd done a 40-minute back and try session. And I'm not a light guy. I'm 6'1", 214 pounds. So after already doing a back session, having to do a bleep test of chin-ups was not fun. It was painful, but I reckon I could crush it if I was feeling fresh. I passed it anyway. You only have to do 3 to pass. I did 8 on a bleep test, and they're wide grip to bleep. They're not easy. But I reckon I could get well into double figures if I was fresh. I might give it a go in a week or two. I might do it once a month just to see where I'm at. Okay, so you can see a bit of a fight around here. No, it was just the fitness test, not the like water test or any of that stuff. Yeah. That's how they taught, though, isn't it? Info risk trader. That's exactly how they all taught. It can't go higher. No way. No way. I'm just gonna keep adding. I'm just gonna keep adding and put my average higher. And then they blow up. Look at the flow zones. Has there been any reason? Remember, we were long here this morning. We were long here this morning. We're long here this morning. Look at the expansion of flow zones. Is there a reason to short? Have you seen one of these happen yet? No. Maybe you see it here, but this is still very low a time frame. Back to previous week value area high here. We actually want a flush at this point. If we're long bias, we actually want a flush at this point. Why? Because we want shorts to chase in. We want to come down to cheaper prices. We want the market to move lower, back into some of these key levels, and then find bids. Remember, because this has been a big drive up. All right, so even if we look at, can we get rid of my scribbles there? Even if we look at the session at the moment, if we go from session low to session high, we can afford a pullback. Remember, this is our trend. We can afford a pullback to come and wash out these guys. All right, and then we can bid off that pullback to go higher if we've got unfinished business. When will I not take that? One thing that's hard is we've basically come into previous day point of control. We talked about this would be a big volume area. ES has probably got a bit of unfinished business up higher, but we've done most of the damage. I'd say most of the low-hanging fruit is gone. But if we do something like this and we start to do something like this, we can trade back upside, taking TPs into this and holding for that squeeze out. But I'd want to see it drift lower. I mean, all we've done is we've taken this guy and this guy. So you've seen a lower time frame change of character. You'd want to see this reject, come lower, take some participants out, and then bid up. Definitely not buying up here, that's for sure. If they're going to trap after just sweeping one level, that will be actually pretty impressive. That would just tell you how many shorts are trapped in here, because all they've done is sweep this. Oh, I guess they swept. They left this equal low. Yeah, they left this. So they've swept everyone from 11:20. So they've swept 20 minutes of action. That's all they've swept. It's not very much. It might be all they sweep though. If shorts are cooked in here, they might not need to go lower. I'd love them to go lower and do multiple leg down, at least 2 legs down. 1, 2, sweep, and then return back in. That'd be much nicer. So I wouldn't be long here. I'd be looking for at least a second leg lower. Just going to use the bathroom here. Be right back. Definitely not bidding up here. It doesn't mean I'm looking short, but I'm not bidding up here. Can squeeze out without me. I want this to move considerably lower. The one thing I'd say is ES is holding like some sort of key pivots at the moment. So if you have a look at ES, if you look at that old spike high, initial balance high, if it fails that, we can trade down to 73s. It might as well trade VWAP if it does it at that point on the ES. In fact, you know what? I want to use this here just to make it easier for me to see it. Basically the same point. So we'd like to see a failure here. I'm not trading it short. I'm just saying I'd like to see a failure, right? Some kind of stop, run down, and then recovery. The only thing that would scare me about the recovery, A, lunch, coming into lunch, volume is here. We know this is a big level. And B, we've done a lot of damage today already. All right, so we've been long all morning today. We've been looking for longs to go high. We've done a lot of damage. It might be that it needs to cool off considerably. Let's have a look at the tape. See who's below 565. Is there much beneath that? Not really at the moment. Have a look at ES. Oh, big stacks here at 74s. Not much below. Come on, give us a second leg. Come and wash them all. Give us the opportunity to do something. So ES already doing that second leg now. Protecting this little low volume node here. You can see we've traded through it once. And the next one would be all the way down here. Everyone good? Everyone locked in good money today, I hope, already? Six is coming up on open. Oh my God, it's just too easy. Too easy taking money from shorts. I wonder how many rooms are all over this to the short side, guessing tops, and then being excited about 10% pullback. I reckon a lot. Approaching, 200% up, and they're excited about 10%. It's hilarious. Still absorbing. Shorts are getting cooked here. Shorts are getting cooked here. Didn't give a full second leg. ES did give the second leg. Still, I'm not buying up here. I want it to come lower, but it just might not present it, and that's okay. If I don't get what I want, I don't get the trade. That's all right. We've already locked in really good money today. Hopefully, you all locked in really good money with me today. John Dennis, I locked in some pretty decent amount of money today. Good work. Good work. Still waiting for Apex to approve some payouts at the moment. Can't trade all my accounts until they go through, which is a bit annoying, really. Waiting on 8 payouts that I put in on Friday after the close. We want to see, ideally, we want to see something down here. Even lower would be amazing, but something down here and get shorts chasing in and then a reaction. What I will not trade down here, all right, just to make this clear. If we come and take out these levels and then trade down here, I'm not interested. I'm only interested if I think we have more upside targets, all right, and we have unfinished business. I will think about these kind of plays. But if we take them out, then the low-hanging fruit's gone. I'm not interested. Still think ES has a chance to close its gaps. All the time that's open, I'll consider an upside move. Richard, $233 on 6 of my funded accounts. Nice, yeah, just a solid base hit, isn't it? Solid base hit. That's all we've got to do every single day. Is that like $1,500 or more? Easy money. $7,500 a week. Easy money, man. That's a lot of money. Don't get drawn into all the BS. It's good money. $10 minutes till lunch, folks. We're just over. You see lots of liquidity both sides of the book now. If you look at the book map above me, you can see they're stacking both sides, small orders, so they're looking to get filled. We need at least a 2-leg. We need at least a 2-leg down at this point for us to have any interest at all. What is your consistency? Because you hardly ever have a red day. Yeah, I shoot about a 68 to 73% win rate. I do go through red patches. You remember? I think it was last month. I had like 3 or 4 in a row or somewhere around that. It normally happens in little patches where the market isn't optimal for me, and I just have to get through those patches and be okay. Like small losses, break even, small losses, break even for a few days. Wait for the market to, come back to favorable conditions for how I play, and then tend to go okay. So I'm pretty like my curve. How would I draw this for you? It's pretty much like this. And I might go sideways or a little bit lower for a few days and then slowly grind up. I very rarely get the big acceleration. That's just not how I trade. I don't get big acceleration because I don't oversize. $350 CFDs. It's a little too difficult to follow your charts, but I'm doing so in TradingView best as I can. You find it hard to follow my chart? What do you find hard to follow? I try and teach way ahead of time. As long as you turn up in the mornings, you should be prepared for everything I'm looking for. It's not like I just hit buttons and tell you after. I'm always telling you what I'm looking for. Right, so you're seeing a squeeze out here. So it's no second leg down. Squeeze out to highs. There is a bit of excess up here at the moment. It wants to come and take point of control, value area high, previous day high. That's its target at the moment. I'm not trading this long because we didn't get this like a deep enough pullback for me to consider it, but we are holding previous week value. ES lagging behind again. So here's your break, 5-day break here. It's trying to get up to that previous day point of control that we talked about. That's where it is trying to go at the moment. It wants to test that previous day point of control. ES wants to fill its gap. Sellers here into 610. You can see them on the book. Sellers here into 610 on the book. ES really struggling. Just hanging out. So if we get through 610, there's not much above. 650s is the next level, which is your previous day high. All right. So if you look at Bookmap, we're kind of, here's my pen. Right. There's not much above here right now until 50s. All right. So if they hold here, really, we would have wanted them to come and do this. All right. Because then we can use this liquidity to go higher. So the way it's building is not ideal. But it's because shorts keep guessing tops and guessing tops and guessing tops and guessing tops. Like I said, I'm not short biased today. There's no reason for me to be looking at shorts at all today. I do not give two monkeys about shorts today because higher time frame is attempting to do an hourly flag breakout. Look at Friday high, look at current day low. That is about as clear of an hour flag as I've ever seen. So point of control here. So if you're still in this long, TP1 here, TP2 up here, previous day value area high, TP3 up here, and then your bonus ball in the lottery today will be this 720. All right, that is a true test of supply up there, but you must be paying yourself. Zoom out for the session. Think about where we got long this morning. We were long here, we were long here, we were long here. I think we might have been long somewhere here. All right, this is a grind. Unfortunately, no two leg here, and we are still going higher. Let's have a look on the new system for Clint that I built. So again, beautiful. Off a 5 minute, higher. Off a 5 minute, higher. All right. If you go down timeframes, it's probably offered even more trades. Yeah. Protected the low, higher, higher, higher. All right. No reason to go short. No reason to go short. Zero reason to go short in this market. I don't understand anyone looking for shorts right now. Oh, I understand, Real Trini. I understand. Why are you trading CFDs, though? Why are you trading CFDs? Because it's not a centralized market. You're asking for a market maker or your broker to hurt you. Is there a reason? Is it because you can't get futures in your country or something? Or no prop firms in the country where you're from? If there's no reason, right? If there's no reason, then you should just move over. Stop trading CFDs. Your country's blacklisted. It's so annoying that they do that, isn't it? I'm really sorry, man. That is annoying. That is annoying. I think that's just deeply unfair. Yeah, it's not fair. Sorry, I'm sorry about that. That sucks. It does suck. All right, previous day point of control being tagged. So you can see no close above this, why you take profits into this. And hopefully you can see why and how we play level to level. All right, so we played. What is this down here? This is higher time frame algo. This is a dip opportunity higher time frame. We played long here. We held this here. We played long here. Here is your buy signal. Here's the reclaim of lower time frame algo. Here are your pullbacks, all above VWAP. Where are we trying to play? Where are we trying to play? Close, previous day close. Reclaim previous day value area low. Over, under, over, under, over, under. Close the gap. Now where are we trying to play? Up to previous week value area high. Still in an uptrend. Now where are we trying to play? From previous week value area high to previous day point of control. If we get through this, where are we trying to play? Previous day value area high, right? It's the last one to hit from value areas, and then previous day high, red line. So what have we done today? From higher time frame algo, reclaim New York Open, reclaimed previous day value area low. We know this is a D-shaped profile in here from Friday. So once we reclaim this, where are we trying to go? To the top of the range. All right, from here to here. That's where we're trying to trade today, which is why we were looking for traps under here to trade upside. All right, this was planned out pre-market. If you're joining late, you're missing out. 9:15, you want to be in here in the morning. And even better, you want to be in my Discord right here for this move. This First one I draw is always the preferable one, and I give the breakdown of what we're looking for, all right? This is the next move now, okay? So we've traded option 1, upside. Now we're considering this, fail breakout or reclaim. This probably happens tomorrow, not today. Check your spam, Mohan. Check your spam. Because if you subscribed, it will be there. But it might have hit your spam. So definitely worth checking. It went out yesterday morning. If not, just, I guess, just resubscribe to it. But it should be in your account. It just might be that it's in your spam. Real Trini, you lost your Top Step accounts. What? Because you're not from the US? It just sucks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. I hate to hear that people are effectively punished by not being part of certain countries. Can I ask where you're trading from, if you're comfortable saying? I thought you might say that because you said Trinidad and Tobago. I'm surprised they're banned. Nothing in spam, really. I'm really sorry to hear that. Hopefully it's added you in. So ES still absorbing. You can see we're starting to reject previous day point of control. But again, is the trend still intact? For now, yes. All right, for now, main pivot points. All right, trend's still intact, isn't it? Until there's some clear breakdown. $90 seconds to lunch, folks. Still sellers up at those 650s. It looks like it wants to get to previous day high. It looks, ES looks like it wants to close that gap. You're currently on a 1 minute. This is on a 1 minute. But really, I'm looking at hourly bars. 4 hour, 1 hour, 30-minute bars is really what I'm looking at. And then I start like refining down into 15-minute and 5-minute. But really, I'm looking at higher time frame. All my analysis comes from higher time frame. Then I'm just trying to execute lower time frame just so I can mitigate my risk. By the way, the 5-min trade strategy is great. However, I had a question. Not too sure if I can ask here. Yes, ask away. Ask away. I'm about to look. I don't know if you've just joined, but I've built this over the last week or so to do that 5-minute trading strategy. This is exactly it in an indicator. I'll be launching it hopefully this week. Get your questions in now because I'm going to leave for lunch. As we come into this new hourly bar coming up now, into lunchtime now. Was done a while ago, just been listening while working. Great stuff as always. Appreciate you, buddy. See you tomorrow. Take care, Tyson. Nice work. Smashing that daily goal. Beautiful work. ES still wants to close that gap. I'm telling you, it wants to close its gap on the ES. You can see on the tape above us, big seller at 650. That is your previous day high. That's ultimately where it wants to go. If it squeezes through that, we're going 720s. Why 720s? That is the edge of the range from Monday, Tuesday before we broke down. That is where buyers are stuck, 720s. If the 21 EMA is below the 200 EMA, but the 21 is green, do you look at buying? If the 21, what do you mean by green? You mean by, so let me just categorize this. If the 21 EMA is below the 200, but price is above the 21 EMA, so price is between the 21 and the 200, is that what you're saying? So the 21, so it would be like this here. Is that what you're talking about? So if this is the 21, this is the 200, and price is here above the 21 but beneath the 200. Yeah, so that is, there's a possible mean reversion in there, but it's dangerous, right? So like this is like, if we fail 21, where are we going to come? Probably to backtest key level, right? You can play mean reversion in there, but the pro trend, the better play is to wait for a reclaim and trade in the direction. Yeah, so like the reason I've done this is this on correctly? So you see how this is filtering. So when it's, if you're playing pro trend, if 21 is above 200, you want to be playing pullbacks long. When we're beneath this, you can leave it alone. Once it goes grey, leave it alone, let them flip. Then you can play downside, 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 because we're underneath. Once we're between, leave it alone, back above, upside, upside, upside. Between here, you can leave it alone unless you're confident at playing mean reversion trades, right? Because all we're doing in between, when we're in this pocket, when we're in this pocket, we're building liquidity. When we're below, we're pro trend. When we're above, we're pro trend. The easy money comes here and comes here and comes here. The harder money comes in between, in here and in here. That makes sense? Thanks. So no longs until 21 is above 200. Yeah, like you can just, like you can limit yourself, you know, for a pro trend. The easy money will come long when the 21 is above 200. The easy money will come when short when the 21 is below the 200. Yeah, that's where the easy money will come. In between that, you're going to get range rotation. So it all depends. If you're confident playing mean reversion range rotation trades, if you understand where the liquidity is, if you can get a trade down to that. But the easy money will come just to leave that alone, especially for newer traders. If you leave that alone, it's probably a bit easier. Luis, if I'm losing $1,200 in a day with 4 trades of $300 losses, and at the end of the day with a profit, my question is whether I violated the 30% maximum negative consistency rule per trade. I don't know what size account you're trading on. I don't know how much profit you're in. I don't know what firm you're with. So it's a bit hard for me to answer unless I understand that. If you're trading a 150K account, no, I think you'd be absolutely fine. But if you're trading a 50K account, yeah, and you're not above the buffer, anything over $700 is going to be a problem for you. 50K account, yeah, you will have failed. If you're, I'm assuming you're talking about Apex there. That's too much drawdown per day, I believe, on Apex. It's okay though. It just means you just keep trading. You know, you're not going to lose the accounts. You just trade another 8 days. Yeah. It just means you won't. When you go for payout, it won't matter if you're in an eval. It doesn't matter. It's just for PAs. When you go for payout, there's a good chance you'll fail those unless you're above the buffer. And then all you have to do is trade another 8 days. Yeah, just trade another 8 days, and then you're done. Thanks, DK. DK saying Trump's still taking questions, which is insane. Like we talked about, this guy can talk forever. Ritalin is a hell of a drug. Does that translate into your flow zones? Forgot the numbers. Yeah, well, these are not too dissimilar. They're more advanced, but it's the same thought process. I'd have to work it out, Richard. It's probably like 350 or something in a PA. I'm not sure. I've never traded them, so I'm not sure. I'd have to work it out. No, they don't mean the max drawdown. Like what they mean is, Coop, when you're in the PAs, you have a max drawdown for going for payout. So there's a 30% consistency rule on the drawdown. So like, let's say on a 50K account, let's say I lose $2,000 in a day and then make it all back the next day and end up going for payout. They will fail me. They will ask me to trade another 8 days. So it's around $700 a day or something like that for a 50K. Okay, so still trading high here. Previous day point of control. They want to get up into this level. This is where they're trying to go. ES is trying to fill its gap. Okay, ES is trying to fill its gap. I'm going to stay here just for a couple more minutes, just in case we go on a ripper up there. So it's not like a hard rule, but it's a soft rule for going for payout. Yeah, so the max risk allowed on an open... Oh, sorry, it's open trade. I always forget that. Open trade is $450. So you can't lose more than $450 on an open trade. Aintash, I'm not sure what you're saying there. GB... You asking JPY? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're asking there. So still holding. Like I said, ES is trying to go for gap fill. It's yellow line. That's what ES is trying to get to at the moment. All right, that's what it's trying to get to, which will, if it gets up there, will allow NQ probably to try and get to previous day high, which is where NQ is clearly trying to get to. There's a seller up there, there's sellers above it. We've talked about it all day. That's what we're looking to trade to. Do. Yeah, I get those talking about Forex, but I can't see. Where's it gone? It's disappeared now. He was asking if GBP JPY. Why has it only got Onada here? You're asking bullish or bearish? Bullish, but just range. That's your range. Absorption failed 61. Reabsorbed, relative equal lows down here. Has highs to pop here. That's absorption. I'd say all the time it's holding 197.70s. It's trying to rotate higher. But it can fail here in 61. I mean, this is supply up here. So it's not an ideal buy area. Buy area is down here. This is chop. So I don't play FX. They're just... There's not much edge in FX. I don't know why anyone really plays it. All right, team. That's me, Dunzo. Bias still higher, but most the low-hanging fruits have been taken. The only thing you're left looking for, and you're not to buy up here, obviously, is these. Okay, so where will the buy opportunities come? If we start sweeping some of this, you're starting to see some level of tapering here. Okay, because we've gone from, think about how we've moved. I just want to make this clear. Let's just take the flow zones off for a second. And we can take this off as well. All right. Here were the lows. What did we say when we open up today? So everyone can remember. I'm looking for a sweep of the lows. A protection of what? A protection of this volume. And then I'm looking to trade upside because this, for me, is a giant flag. Because this is the uptrend. This is just a pullback. And I'm trying to find a way of getting long. What's the best way of getting long? Trap bears. Where do bears come in this morning? Because they're Muppets. I should be kinder than that, shouldn't I? They play breakout shorts underneath this level, right? Remember, most common trades are breakouts. They play breakout shorts underneath here. We trade long back above here to VWAP. We fail to break down. This is your cue. You should be asking yourself, who's stuck here? Bears. What is this? Think about this liquidity that we build. All right, and then we go upside. Our cheap longs were under here and here, and then here, above VWAP and into previous day value area. Okay, because if we think about, if you go back and do my volume profile course, underneath here is discount. Over here, and over here really, is premium. We're coming up into premium. If we think about even this of a range from that high to this low, trading well above 50%. We want it to be bidding down here for a push up into these levels, which is what we're getting. We do not want to be bidding high now. That does not mean it's your cue to short though, does it? The trend is very, very strong. So where would I be looking for longs? I'd be looking for longs if we leave, all right, if we leave these levels and we offer some nasty pullback, maybe with something like this for a grind back up, all right? Because I need shorts to come chasing in and then them to get trapped. Just like here. This is your key. Underneath a swing low, shorts try once, they try it again, and then they get squeezed out and we use them to go higher. You need this kind of look here. You need it to do it. If we just keep squeezing upside, if this grind is relentless upside, and we come and take out previous day point of control and previous day value area high, and maybe even previous day high. When we come back here, do we look for longs? No, we don't, because we've taken all low-hanging fruits, all right? We've taken all low-hanging fruits at that point. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Please do not be picking tops, all right? We're bullish. We're bullish. We're trying to do one of these at the moment this week. Don't be trying to short. It's the hardest trade in the game right now because we are in multi-time frame bullish. That is all I've got time for. Let's just quickly read and see what you guys are talking about. Louis, but I have profit every day, only on 2 days that I started the day badly and ended up losing 4 trades of $300 by it. Ended those days in profit. You might be okay because what I just read was saying it's per trade. So I think you might be okay, my friend. I think you might be okay. Is there a way to get a 4-hour chart on NT? Yeah, 240-minute chart. Yeah, if you just go to the minutes and 240 minutes. If it doesn't show you, JP, just go, when you select the time frame, go to configure, go to minutes, go to add and put in 240 and then it will come up. If we hit previous day high, should I close the final TP2? Is there some chance of a big reaction of shorts covering? There is. There is. And I'll show you. I don't know how many you've got on. So this is where we're trying to get. All right. Do I think you should take some profit there? Yes. But I guess we could think about extension in here, coming to these levels here, 161, somewhere in here. So if we get through here, we're likely to come up to supply, and I'd be closing out here and then waiting to see if we build liquidity next few sessions to go higher, or like we talked about, if this is 1, 2, set a daily lower high and come down. That might be hard for people to understand, but this is why I'm talking about that. We're still in a daily uptrend, but buyers are trapped here. If we're going to set a daily lower high, it's going to be here. And then if we get a short reaction, it's going to be a trade back down to here. That will be TP1 on a daily. If we get a sweep of these, that is then what? A lower low. That means we've finally got a lower high, lower low on the daily. Then we'll be looking for a build out and a run underneath these to clean them out. If we don't get that on the daily, all right, then all this is one pullback. Think about this. Pullback. This is another pullback. We reclaim this, go sideways, we go upside. All right, that's why it's really important to understand multi-time frame structure. So should you be taking some profit out at previous day high? Absolutely. Is there a chance we scream through previous day high to 720s? Yes, there is a chance. There is a chance it does it. I would not be bullish over that at that point. No worries, JD. Let's just see the last few questions. 50% left in TP2. Super, that makes sense. All right, no worries. All right, you guys are all prepared. You know what you're looking for. Some of you might have been new who joined today. Just stick with me each and every day. It will start to make more and more sense for you. If you want to learn more, all right, if you want to understand my playbook, if you want to join the Discord, if you want a trading community which is supportive, if you want to trade with like-minded individuals, if you want to refine your system and understand how to trade, all right, do yourself a favor. Do the link down below, all right? Just go and do the course. It's a 20-hour on-demand course. Everything is moving over to a new server. Unfortunately, prices will go up. Things will change next year. If you're already in the Discord, if you're already done the course, if you're already going to join this year, you will be grandfathered in at one-time fees, all right? And nothing will ever change for you because I don't work like that. But things will be changing next year. I'm going to have to change the business model slightly. But do yourself a favor, all right? Learn to understand why we're looking at multi-time frames, why we use certain indicators to help you. I do all of this, all right? You might look at this screen and go, oh my God, it's so messy. But really, it's not that messy. When you take it all off, all it is horizontal lines showing you areas of interest and basic EMAs, all right, showing you where price is supporting action. And it's there to act, you know, like a stabilizer, to stop you falling off your bike, to stop you guessing tops and guessing bottoms. Not once have we had a sell signal since down here, and I ignored all of those in the open, and we're looking for buys only. And this is strong trend. Look how it's opening up. All right, really simple, strong trend. You have the flow zone momentum cloud well above the deep pullback cloud, well above the New York, above the initial balance, right, above the opening range. This is all upside. There is nothing here saying short me. Nothing. See you all tomorrow. Those in Discord, I will pop in there this afternoon. Unlikely to have a trade because, yeah, up very nicely on the day. So don't need to force anything. But if we see a setup, I will set price alerts. If we see something, we can play it or we can look at it together. Peace and love, everyone. Please use hard stops. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 9:15, nice and early before the market open. Take care.